manually click VODs, but okay, I won't worry about it. Check. Video. Yeah, it's broadcasting. Cool. Okay, what is this? Reset all of this. Okay. Do we add more categories or should we just leave it at this? I think we have to add another category. Yeah, sure. Stop. I get a headache every time people post about KQM. It's just like okay, sometimes they get stuff right and then sometimes they just are so like every time I get sent a post and it's just like the theory crafters at KQM blah blah say blah blah, I get a small heart attack. Okay. Okay. Will the VOD have Zad's voice to the artifact clips from the last stream? I couldn't hear XF's voice. Hold on, let me check if your thing is. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. I think if I put on your thing, let me see what tracks.
The Discord to.
Yes, I'm now recording it. I think.
Was it recording before or no?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, VOD watchers.
VOD watchers, you. Alright, so what kind of tier list do we want to make? Someone already immediately asked what I was thinking. You know what? Who's a good baseline for all of our Keqing, of course. Okay, actually though.
Unironically, I've been disliking Keqing more and more every time I like think about the meta. Man, is she bad.
We've been redoing like calcs and stuff in KQM about it, and like in general theory crafting her, it's so much work. There's so much you have to force to like try to edge out extra damage. Like I think they're trying to work on Eing twice on with 4 Thundering Fury on her right now, but it's just very difficult.
So much work when you'd be better off like giving Lisa TTDS and buffing your circle instead.
Like owning Raiden or like any other of the premier DPS is almost like automatically knocks out Keqing. It's so sad. And even like hyper buffing her with like Kazuha and Bennett is just not that
honestly
worth it.
The trick, if you want to make Keqing work, the trick is to play her with Xingqiu, Kazuha, and Fischl.
No,
because then Xingqiu, Kazuha, and Fischl can do all the work, and you can have Keqing as your cosmetic 4th slot.
Yeah. Okay, how do you want to start off? Do you want the worst and the best characters out of the way, or?
Up to you.
I think off the bat we'll just go ahead and do Bennett at the very top here. Pretty safe, I would say. Very, I mean, premier buffer, premier cleanser, premier
so
healer.
You're actually putting Keqing in B?
I think for now. I mean, we'll move it around as the other units fall into
There's
place.
like 3 units that are worse than Keqing.
I think among the 5 stars, she must be. Who are the 5 stars?
The only 5-star that's worse than her is Aloy, and it's because she's not an actual 5-star.
Among the other 5 stars, let's see. Pick out all the 5 stars. Okay, absolutely not. She's worse than all of these. Yeah, she might. Wait, she might actually just be like one of the worst.
Yeah.
W.
She's worse than Chi-Chi because Chi-Chi can use Clam now.
Oh god, no.
Bro, so Clam Chi-Chi on field Chi-Chi with Clam does more damage than Keqing.
This is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito. Wait, this is actually so sad. She's actually horrible.
Clear faster with Keqing than with Right and National? Bro, you might want to scan for viruses or some shit. That's not normal.
I think your Xiangling might be messed up or something, bro.
Have you ever heard of snapshotting?
I don't even know if that's so bad. Okay, we'll just.
How does that even happen?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a 5-star that's worse than her. I think in general, but like in the niches that the 5-stars occupy, they're all pretty good at what they do. Keqing is meant to be like a DPS, but like she just doesn't really do that much damage. Yeah, she's no.
Yep.
Interesting. I think these scores will have to be obviously relative to each other, but okay. Do you want to start off with the 5-stars or anything like that? Any preference here, Sajid?
I don't care.
Alright, we'll start off with the newest one. Where do we think Ayato landing?
That's a hard one.
It is. I would say the value of the 5-star Hydras is particularly very difficult to evaluate because as long as you already have a Xingqiu, you really only need one of the others to really finish out all of your other compositions.
Yeah. I'd say back when Childe was like the only other Hydra option other than Mona, but like, right, you're not gonna play Mona outside of a Ganyu team most of the time. So like, back when Childe was the only option, he was like high S, in my opinion. Now that we have more options, I'd say that brings Childe's value down a little bit. And I would say that like both he and the other him, Kokomi, and Ayato all like hover between low S and high A.
I think so too. I think people really like if we take Xingqiu as a given, right? Like almost certainly him being an SS, like there's just he kind of eliminates the need for so many other Hydro compositions.
Hi Tenten, how are you doing?
Why is he here? Okay, join the VC. Join theory testing at KQM. I'll let you in. We can work on it if you want. Zay's about to upload the same video on like 3 different channels. Is he? Alright, you know what? Oh. Join theory testing then and I'll drag you in. Oh, there he is. Hi, Tenten.
Okay. What's up? If you guys are making tier lists, I would not bother. Holy shit. Making video on stream is so hard, man.
What is that noise, Tenten? Is that your fan?
Oh, probably.
Wait, aren't you still streaming?
Yeah. Say hi. Say hi to the stream.
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat. How are you doing?
Are you guys making tier lists?
Yeah, why?
Yes.
Sasuke.
It's free content, Tenten. You get to sit here, eat, and we get to listen to your fan and my own voice.
You guys want to do tier lists of KQM, or what do you guys want to do? I'm supposed to talk about Ayaka, but Because I can rerun.
Oh shit! I gotta do a fucking video about that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing it right now, so I can start working on the video on the weekend. I mean, I can rerun it just like she's pretty pog. Okay, go next. Like that's it. Honest.
Okay, but Tenten, I have a question for you.
What's up?
Why would you wish for Ayaka when you can just play Morgana? Huh?
Cause booah! Okay.
Okay. And then turn off your fan. Oh my god, it's so loud.
Okay. I can. It's too hot in California, but I'll change the sensitivity.
Have you tried not living in the US?
No, I cannot. I have work.
Who cares?
Work from home.
Like no Ayaka discussion until Sunday then.
No Ayaka discussion.
Tier list. I was gonna make a tier list.
Okay, well, make one with us. Like the greatest theory crafting tier list of all time. Let me ping Hazel too. You know what? Why don't we just do the podcast right now?
Fuck.
I'm
That's a
supposed to
joke.
be watching anime on stream, but
No, you're not. That's not for another hour.
okay, fine. I have an hour. What do you got? What?
All right, we'll just keep moving with that. I think it's very hard to really pull ahead in terms of the Hydra units. I think specifically.
Also, quick disclaimer on the tier list.
Yeah.
The final result doesn't really matter. What's interesting is the thought processes of why units are where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just screenshot it and be like, "Oh yeah, wow, woohoo! This is the tier list."
It's
That's
yeah.
cringe.
I mean, in general, the video should be pretty informative to like.
Wait, are you guys making the video?
I'm not making a video out of this, honestly.
I'm probably not. Yeah, you can if you want. If you want Zay to do it.
No, I'm not making the video. I'm not making a video. Oh, wait,
Right.
you mean the tier list? No.
Actually, you know what? I'll post it on the KQM second channel then if someone wants to edit it. But for now, we'll still be as descriptive as possible because it's irresponsible in general to do a tier list without, prefacing all of the goody stuff behind it. I think
What?
by the end of it, you'll have a pretty good idea of what we think about each unit, how they fall relative to their other options, right? So
Alright.
Hydro units.
Honestly, I'm down.
Okay, so
hold on. Wait, shit, leak Sasuke.
So Hydro units in general would be rated relative to each other, right? And it wouldn't compare very well. Like if Yae and Childe both land in S tier, for example, then it doesn't indicate much to like how strong they are compared to each other, right? They don't do like anything similar together.
What's up, Azo? Azo is here. Fear crafting broadcast roundtable tier list version.
Wait, what? I was not prepared for this.
We're doing a tier list.
Roll it
Hazel.
in. Show the score icon. Alright.
Can you just put Xinyan in D tier so we can get that?
Can
Yeah,
you
we'll
push
get
it
it.
in fucking F tier? I was thinking D is not enough.
Okay, yeah,
I was
I
not
mean,
ready to get canceled today. Please let me out.
you're in here.
I can't
Can't
I
what?
can't put the Discord overlay over. It doesn't work because this is the Sasuke channel.
Oh.
It's you guys don't like the overlay. You guys know who they are. It's a fucking free crafting.
Yeah, y'all
roundtable.
know who we are. I'm Zaja.
Yeah. Hi, I'm actually
Bennett.
I'm
Watching.
Hale.
Hi.
So
I win
was
or
gonna
lose,
make
by
a-
the way.
okay, this is spoilers because this is like one of my new content. But like, I was gonna make a tier list, but it's like just pure waifu tier list because when people realize when I don't put Xiangling at the top, people was gonna be like, "Wait, what?" But I was
Xiangling
spoiler
isn't your
alert.
number one waifu?
Xiangling again, Oppa.
And people realize I'm actually like Xiangling. They'll be
Can I
like,
get
"Huh?"
a Zajef bat chest in chat?
But shit.
Oh my god, what is that?
Have you guys been watching? Anyone watch TFT streamer? Dude, all they do is bat chess.
Okay. So we can just go ahead and start. We put very clearly some benchmarks of where we think some basic units land. Bennett, Xingqiu at the top already. We can go through them in a second again. And Xinyan at the bottom. So Bennett and Xingqiu are almost unequivocally like the two most important units in the game. They make the game revolve around them. Every unit that we ever pull compared to them and examined whether or not they can be used with them and whether or not they're good replacements or the opportunity cost is like worth it to pull for them, right? So Ayato comes out, Childe comes out. The first questions we ask, does he apply more Hydro or enough Hydro to compete with Xingqiu? And that's on top of like all their utility, right? So they not only buff or provide strong Hydro application, they also provide healing, they provide damage reduction, self-cleansing, and etc. and etc. Xingqiu specifically also shreds his own Hydro. He's very self-sustainable with just a sack sword. So
Wait, Keqing sees mode.
yeah, so to justify this one, I mean, we like if you look at the screen right here, all of the 5 stars are lined up at the top here. Can you think of like any of them that are particularly worse than Keqing? Maybe Alloy. Right?
That's it. Only Alloy.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't that make Keqing D? Oh yeah, I guess.
I think Shenyan having her own.
No, I think Xinyan has her own tier, right? Yeah, no, Xinyan has her own tier. Alright, fine.
To be fair though, it is.
Oh my
Let's
God.
let us take a moment to appreciate like the like one thing that Xinyan can actually do, because
What?
she's pretty bad, but she's not completely and utterly useless.
Yeah, she can. She does have 2 roles.
Yeah, like her E, her pulse from her shield doesn't have internal cooldown,
Right.
which means that she can be used in certain soup teams, which are basically just you put a bunch of reactions together and you mix them all together like a soup, right? So you can slap her in a soup team. You can slap her in a soup team to have her not be completely useless. And I've seen some people try to push mono pyro with on-field Xinyan with Bennett C6.
I mean, on the topic of Xinyan, I do believe that Boberkrot, a fairly old theory crafter, is a pretty large fan of her and doesn't believe that she's treated as well as she should be. I think specifically she has a lot of well, when she came out, there was a bit of fanfare in the Chinese community about how cheap it was to really build her. She only needed crit damage and attack and stuff like that because at C2,
I remember that. Holy shit.
Her C2 is a 100% crit rate. So, well, she's not useless, but hardly any character in the game is useless.
You can also use her in Hu Tao VV Vape in single target situations.
Yeah, because if you're on 2 targets, you get the shield.
You get the level 3 shield, and then you start clearing Hydro. But in 2 targets, she can, because I remember her Q is 2U, or is it her E that's 2U? One of them is 2U at least, I think, which allows her to clear Hydro, apply Pyro, UVV. But again, that's only in single target situations, so limited use. You can always use Thoma. You can always use Amber. Amber doesn't give you a shield though, so Xinyan is actually probably better than Amber unless you have LOG in single targets. So yeah, I think there are just a lot of caveats to using Xinyan in VV Vape, but it is doable.
But yeah, all of this to say, she's not completely terrible, but compared to like every other unit in the game, she's basically shit.
Yes.
Okay.
What tier list is all about? So
I have a question then. How do you guys feel about Sara? So I saw some updated calcs and saw that if you're below C6, that Lisa will outperform her as a buffer for Raiden, right? And
Sara is completely shit below C6, but she does have that like C6 that does make her useful.
She has her C6 and she has the ability to buff attack, but like, and she's like can be a nuker if you build her, but like, is she really that stellar among like the other options? You know, this is a question I would have.
No, I don't.
I think she's not great, but I think the fact that at C6 she does make Raiden hyper, like better, does make her at least above like the bottom tiers, because Raiden
But,
Hyper
like-
is actually like a pretty good comp.
But like even then, right? You look at how much she provides versus how much like Gorou provides in
Gorou. Oh, I think okay. Sara and Gorou are just so.
But like Gorou does so much more.
Yeah, Gorou does more than like GOMC for a Geo comp. Like versus that compared to like
Also,
Sara
Gorou is
and
irreplaceable.
I guess the
Yeah,
good
really.
thing.
Plays Gorou.
Gorou brings more to Geocomps than Sara does to Electro comps.
I think in general they're.
I think they're the
They're-
same in general. Like, yeah,
I would put Gorou above Sara.
They're
Because
very, very,
it's a
very
question-
niche units here.
I
Like,
think the question though is like, for those niches, are
Where am I?
they irreplaceable? And I think that like just if you compare how much Sara improves your team over Lisa compared to how much Gorou improves a team over like let's
Yeah,
say GOMC or Ning support, then I think that Gorou is more comparatively valuable.
Exactly. That is what I was getting at. Thank you for phrasing it better.
I think.
no,
Oh.
I understand like that, like putting Gorou above the tier of Sara, but I think looking ahead of like the amount of character we have to separate, I think it's make more sense to put them together.
I think there's a lot of the newer units are very niche, right? They're very specifically tailored with the idea of like tuning them to be paired with certain other units, right? Gorou, Itto, Sara, Raiden. We have even Yae Raiden. We have Shenhe and I guess Chongyun or any other crowd unit that we force, right?
Oh,
And Yunjin with just normal attackers, right? In general, these are like the ideas that they wanted to go for. And their scores aren't necessarily reflective of like their intended power because, you know, they're just expected to be used with like just a few characters.
you guys. Oh, sorry. I was like, it's kind of off topic, but like, I was like, if we're gonna do this, you might as well make an official, really pretty looking tier list. And actually,
It's fine.
Too lazy.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you move Gorou up a tier in A, you have to consider like what other character you put in A, and I feel it doesn't make sense to do that.
I mean, things will
So-
shift around as we fill it out, I think.
Yeah.
So I think before everyone really plopped in here, we were talking about Hydro and how having Xingqiu be in the game warps their strength greatly, right? So when Childe was the only other Hydro unit, his value was very easily S, right? But with Kokomi out, Ayato out, and even Mona nowadays, you're much more hard pressed to automatically stick Childe in the S tier, right?
Mhm.
And among them all, it's very hard to rate them. I think for yeah. I think for pool value, it's interesting. It really depends what teams you want to run in the first place. That their differences really kind of pull out together. I think Childe and Kokomi are very, very competitive with each other, and then Ayato and Mona are just like one rung below.
I don't think I agree with that.
No?
No, I don't think I would put Ayato below Childe and Kokomi.
Is there any particular reason?
I would definitely agree with putting Mona below, but I don't think Ayato is in the Mona.
Yeah,
I think it's
pretty
just
close.
told it isn't
Is
us.
it because you value his electrocharge comps much more?
Yeah, but it's also just that like he's really not that much worse than Childe and Vape teams.
Really?
And
I'll have to check
Yeah.
that out.
yeah, his like the obviously like the like practically Childe teams always will perform better than they cheat because they have flexible rotations and their damage is generally more front loaded and all that shit, right?
Mhm.
But they do cheat relatively similarly.
Okay.
Um
I was under the impression that actually I guess they both don't really vape that much of Xiangling's burst at the end of the day, huh?
Yeah. Well, one thing that's true, and also, I mean, even though with Ayato you can't really do Kazuha with the double swirl things, people have been talking a lot about the Childe Xiangling Bennett Fischl team, and that seems relatively good. So another alternative option there, I guess, which would be nice to look at.
Oh, so in the tier list, where would you put them? I think they're very hard to really just.
I would personally put Ayato one under Chao, but I think it's pretty close. I think you can make the argument. So it's kind of like in the.
I would. Yeah, I think that kind of depends on the account.
Absolutely.
Which makes it
I think 100% Mona under 1 tier. I think this is like fine.
I think it's not just about the account; it's also about the player.
Yeah, I think so too.
Man, I fucking hate playing healers. They make the game so unfun.
I personally hate playing Childe. So, yeah. It's just... It really is for the Hydra characters, for you to pick which kind of team comps you want to use, right? Kokomi specifically excels in either a fairly complicated team Sukokomon, or excels very well in when she's paired with a unit like Kazuha, right? Childe has front-loaded damage with Xiangling, typically married to Xiangling Bennett, and then Ayato is fairly flexible. He can do Electrocharge, he can do Vape, he's very easy to play.
Yeah, I think I would personally put Ayato, then Childe, then Kokomi, but like, I think you can make a reasonable argument for any order.
Yeah, I personally don't think there's any particular order for them either.
Like, they're strong on different things, and depending on which thing you value more, then you'll get to different results.
Right.
I like Ayato's flexibility because he can be running Freeze, Taser, and Vape. Some people are gonna like Kokomi's Comfort, and also to some extent flexibility because she's pretty good in Freeze and Taser, even though she's not that great in Vape. And then some people are gonna like the fact that Childe is really fucking good at speedruns and front loading damage and multi-waving, all that shit, right?
Exactly. I think like if you're a new player, Ayato because of flexibility, but also just depends, So
yeah,
put them all next to each other, I guess.
Yeah,
any order.
Just know they're not in any particular order. Okay. Are there any other units that we wanted to just pick out and immediately go with? I think Xiangling. Xiangling probably immediately going up as well.
Wait, you think SS?
Is that the funny word?
Is it too high?
I think there's two. I wouldn't put Xiangling in SS.
I think
I wouldn't put Xiangling in SS either.
I think one of go ahead.
SS, I think putting a third unit in SS, like with Bennett and Xingqiu, is a fucking insult to Bennett and Xingqiu. I think they're way too far above every other unit that putting any other unit in there is kind of fucking...
I think there's one other unit that could go into SS.
This man's about to say Kazuha.
It's Kazuha. It's Kazuha. I think I think there's only one other unit, if we're using that criteria, that does as much as these two does.
Keywords.
I mean, look,
Kazuha.
I've already talked about why I think Sucrose is better than Kazuha overall.
I would consider making Bennett Xingqiu into a tier above, and then move Xiangling above. Then you can put Kazuha in that tier.
I guess it would be borderline, right? I think
compromises.
I think to just really start again, so moving Xiangling out of SS into S, the reason why is these days we have so many more options. I think we talked about this on the podcast. There's so many more reasons to really go beyond Xiangling. So many other units have at least parity with the damage output and don't run into the same problems that she does. Right?
She's also just so bad dependent. Like, you can run Sukokomon, but basically every single other team comp is just Bennett Xiangling. And when
Bennett Xiangling bad chess.
Yeah. Like, I think there's an argument to be made. We have more teams now. We have like Mono Geo with Itto. We have like other non-Bennett-less freeze teams. I'm like, you can say Pokemon. We have like soup comps that don't necessarily need Bennett, but even if we have many more teams that don't necessarily require Bennett at this point in the game, he's just still so valuable that I think stealing him away from being potentially used on another team, which is what Xiangling does, is just really harmful.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the opportunity cost of running Xiangling is running Bennett main DPS.
True. No, but I really like Xiangling overall just because she's the baseline. She's the unit that people literally start the game. Well, not start the game, but people literally get for free on their account.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a whenever you're considering wishing for a unit, you have to ask yourself, is this a considerable improvement over Xiangling? Is pulling for this 5-star unit gonna give me more DPS than pulling for a 5-star weapon for my Xiangling? A lot of the time, the answer to that is gonna be no. But obviously, that doesn't mean that those units are bad or that Xiangling is broken. She's good because her teams do good damage, but it's nice to have her as a baseline. And I think that the existence of Xiangling, most importantly, affects the value of other units that are not dependent on the same units as her. I consider units that don't rely on Bennett and Xingqiu to be significantly stronger and more like attractive to players because you don't have to break apart your Xiangling team to play them. Units like Ayaka, specifically, I consider incredibly good because you can just pull for them and you still have your Xiangling team on the other side. You'll have two teams that perform really well.
Itto.
But if you guys don't mind, there has been a question that has been asked using points. If you guys allow me to ask you these. Do you think mihoyo devs have been doing a good job so far with the characters and teams? So have they been releasing it pretty accordingly?
I think they've been doing it intentionally.
I think with every character that is currently released, yes.
Yeah, I think in general they've been doing a.
This man is thinking about yelling.
I think in general,
It felt like you were holding back.
I think in general so far they've been doing a fairly good job of keeping everything in line. I think they deliberately set certain characters to be better or worse than others. I think gating things like Shenhe's mechanics and Yunjin mechanics, like hard capping them is something that they're not afraid to do. So yeah, I think mihoyo's been doing a fine job of it so far. I think in terms of like what's come out, like is Raiden really power creep? Is Eula power creep over Razor? Is Kazuha power creep over Sucrose, right? These are questions that we probably kind of skirt the edge of whether or not it's power creep or if they do something completely different, right? And I think some of us here would probably not even consider Kazuha and Sucrose to be a large difference if there's a difference at all in either which way.
Well, there is a difference. Sucrose is better.
Bad chess.
As a person who always uses sucrose, I agree.
Okay, so we can
look at the math. It's
okay,
like,
yeah. So we can do Kazuha and Sucrose as a pair here. Where would you guys put them, and in what order, I suppose?
Probably just straight into S.
I would put them at the top of S, probably.
Is that minimum?
Are we really doing
Wait, hold on. Is this tier list ordered for each tier lane?
Yes, it is ordered within tiers.
Oh shit. Okay. I would put it over Kaz, to be honest, but
ooh, this is gonna be the biggest.
Okay, so let's start. So we're not here to put like units just on there and without any explanation, right? So to begin with, Sucrose is probably still one of the most underrated units. Her and Beidou consistently are just being kind of ignored because they're fairly more complicated and less easy to use, I think. But it's known, and it's still known, that Sucrose is a very strong unit in multiple different comms. She can solo carry herself into relevancy using taser team compositions, electrocharge reactions. She can use soup, she can do anything and everything, right? And she buffs the elemental mastery, so she doesn't have to worry as much whether or not she's the one proccing a reaction. And then for Kazuha, another animo unit, you enjoy very easy grouping, and the similar advantages to Sucrose in that he provides a very strong buff, right?
I'm gonna close tenten shut because there's way too many people that are fucking.
It's a hot topic, bro. It's what happened when you get a hot topic.
I'm not reading any of my chats or anything like that.
I am not looking at Twitch at all.
I don't. So to preface this, it's not very. I don't want to go off on like too many tangents other than what like we're discussing specifically. There's a lot of pairings in the game right now where the difference between 1 or 2 or 3 units is very minimal, right? Like, so if we go back, Kokomi, Childe, and Ayato, very similar in what they do. There's not really much reason to really break or split hairs over, like, really hashing that one out, just to explain what they do and what they do differently from each other, right? And for Sucrose and Kazuha here, they're very strong, both very, very strong units. There's no point in really kind of fighting over which one is, like...
Yeah, that's the part I don't like about. I don't really like positioning characters within the same tier, but that's what it is. That's what
like at the end of the day, like I value what Sucrose gives more than what Kazuha gives, but they're both about as good as each other.
Yep.
I think I personally would value Kazuha higher than Sucrose if I have to pick, just because he worked more team and.
Yeah, I just think that the ability to swirl entities is fucking broken.
Yeah,
the swirl is broken.
I think Global Swirl is just a start. It's like, can you swirl more stuff in the future?
Dude, you know, we originally like looked at the data mine, and apparently Childe's swords are also considered objects, and we were like, wait, can you swirl Childe's swords? And no, you can't. But we were very excited.
I think the
Gintel were very excited for like 2 seconds.
I think the part people don't realize, especially for a casual player, is Sucrose. It's OP in terms of how the game functions. Being able to swirl entity is like a broken functionality that mean like Sucrose is do much more broken. It's straight up like actual broken. Like the game is actually broken.
There's easily accessible vaped swirls, and with Global Swirl you just have vape swirls.
It's just so to start off with, their damage calcs in their relative team compositions are always fairly similar. Their contributions to damage in vape teams or even electrocharge teams can be relatively similar. Difference between them is obviously one's a 4-star, one's a 5-star. One group's much more aggressively than the other and stuff like that. But in general, with how the meta is and VV and elemental damage bonus being very valuable, it's very hard to really make a tier list where these two units are rated very lowly.
Mm-hmm. I also want to say, I think Raiden should be above Xiangling.
You what now?
That's a hot take.
I think Raiden should be, yeah.
Agreed.
That's a hot take.
Agreed.
I don't think that's that much of a hot take.
I think that's fine.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think I agree, but I don't think it's a particularly hot take.
No, I think that's fine too. I think that's fine.
And
Raiden Shogun coming out of left field here.
I think that just if you look at she might not be the best unit to put in a team all the time, but the fact that she can be used in a lot of teams as kind of a dual carry or as like a flex DP sub DPS support, whatever. Like I think just this is coming from the entire thing that happened with Xiaolin, because I know Zajev does not like Xiaolin.
I don't like that.
The people, the Xiaomains people are all like, "Oh, this is the best way to play Xiao," and technically,
I hate it so much because if you're playing Xiao, you're playing Xiao for the way that he deals with AoE content, and if you just fucking slap Raiden in there, you're losing that.
Okay, so for people that are unaware, for people that are unaware, there is a calc. There are a series of calcs that puts Raiden with Xiao, that pairing specifically, as a very strong comp in general, right? In terms of damage output, Raiden does enough damage to make up for the time that she spends on field and the energy and stuff, and the energy she makes is very useful for him. But I think the buck kind of stops there in terms of of synergies, but yeah.
Alright, you know what else is actually a pretty good team?
Xiao no.
Xiao no.
Okay, we're not even gonna go into that. Okay, so
you guys want to put Xiao right now?
So no. We have to finish Raiden. So Raiden, why is she so much stronger than like other options? She makes energy for her other teams. She applies an elemental burst damage bonus to her team for free. She has a fuckload of damage in her own queue, obviously enough to make it so that when she extends rotations, it's typically not a damage loss, just solely out of the raw damage she's doing. And against all odds and against most of our recommendation, she's able to be run as a dual carry because of the mechanics of her like energy and stuff like that.
Now, I don't think that her being run as a dual carry is optimal in a lot of circumstances, but the fact that it can be done, I think, speaks to her flexibility. You can run her with Childe. It might not be the best. You can run her with Ayato. You can run her with Xiao. You can run her with Hu Tao. Of course, these are not like going to be the best use case or the best support, but she can do it.
And on top of that, she can do it all by herself too.
I don't think that's the reason why she's that good. I think the reason she's really good is because of her damage, her output as a carry.
Yeah.
Like, well, when you look at her kit, you see like, what is it, 7 seconds?
7. If you count burst animation itself and hit lag, it's like 9.5.
Yeah, but it has like a 7 seconds infusion, right? You see that, you might be like, huh, that's not all that good. But then you have to realize that obviously there's the burst animation, but most importantly, generally when you're playing teams with a carry, you'll run like other units to buff that carry. So when you're playing hyper teams, you like running things like Bennett, you like running things like Kazuha. And most buffs just don't last 20 seconds. Most buffs last only a certain amount of time, which if you cast all of your buffs in succession, you generally have about a 10-second window where you can actually output damage with those buffs before they disappear. And because of that, a unit that takes a little bit under 10 seconds to output all of their damage doesn't actually get punished for not being able to stay on the field all that much longer, because you don't have that much of an incentive to stay on the field that much longer, even if you can.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it as well. I think that just the reasoning that I have is like the fact that she's able to do so much damage. She just has like at base, even without considering buffs, a lot of damage in her kit makes her able to do the dual carry.
I think
that just speaks to how much damage she does.
I think it's not even just her damage. Like, there's so much about her that makes her good, right? So on top of like just doing damage, while she's doing damage, she gets to give energy to your team. She gets a free buff to herself and to her teammates while she's doing it. She just does what you want when you want to be doing it on her. She's just very well rounded in general. And has a plethora of utility to make up for anything that she might be lacking.
However, though, Zaj, if you said you don't agree with her being above Xiangling, where would you put her?
Probably right below, but then again, I also have very massive free-to-play bias, so...
I think that actually comes into question, honestly. Just so like everyone's on the same page, when you're making this tier list, are you looking at a perspective of like when everyone has all the resources possible to optimize the character, or are you talking about just when as a viewpoint of like an FTP player or just like a sub dolphin or something like that, what is like the standards here?
It's looking at a unit strength relative to like the other options in like the same situation, right?
Right.
It should be fairly indicative of like where we think they all rank, but it probably can never be a pool value ranking. Pool value is so contextual to an individual account that a tier list can never ever really explain to you what you should be prioritizing in terms of rounding out your account. Right. If you have a Xingqiu and you don't have the tools to really make another team that involves Hydro, Kokomi, Childe, and Ayato don't matter, right? If you have a well-built Sucrose and you don't really need another Animo for your next team, Kazuha and Venti aren't really the options that you're really looking at. So it's all very contextual. And in general, this is just what we think these units can really do, like relative to others in like their own sort of niches, right? So like if Shenhe and I don't know, Razor end up being the same tier, does that mean one is better than the other? Well, no, obviously not. They do very completely different things. And their value to you is completely dependent on what else you have on your account and what you want to run.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that people in the chats are like understanding, because some of the people are confused in like which context that everyone's facing.
This is just how good these characters are. That's all you need.
That's fair. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm just making sure everyone in the chat actually like gets the point.
I'll repeat what I said at the beginning. Just looking at the tier list doesn't matter. Don't use this tier list like the image of the tier list to make decisions. If you're interested about knowing about a character, just go back to the VOD and listen to the part where we talk about that character.
And again, it's not worth really splitting hairs over something like where should we put Raiden versus Xiangling, right? It's just they do so many different things together. Does it really matter like which one we value more? Obviously, probably not, right?
It mostly doesn't. That being said, though,
I think in terms of pool value,
because I think my reasons for valuing Xiangling are somewhat interesting, so I kind of just want to touch on them a little bit.
Sure.
But the reason why I generally value Xiangling higher than Raiden is basically just because she's a 4-star. You get her for free, which means again, right, the baseline Primogem cost to get her is lower, which means you have more Primogems left to build a better second team or go for 5-star weapons, right? So unless you reach at the very least like either Dolphin or Lucky Free to Play or Wilkin, who's been playing since day one, you're always gonna have like at least one or two other like pulls, like 5-star pulls, whether character, constellation, or weapon, that are gonna significantly improve your account. And not needing to have a carry that's a 5-star just inherently gives you one more of those.
I see. I think I guess that makes sense. If we want this tier list to, I guess, be holistic, like it's not just considering pure power level, but also like account value and all that.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, obviously we're already kind of factoring that in, right?
Right.
We're not evaluating Raiden as in totality at C6 versus, something else. Obviously, we're assuming somewhat.
If we're talking actual team performance, then I think it's pretty fair to put Raiden above Xiangling.
Wait, I had the impression of this was just performance.
I mean, it's just totality, right?
We want to just be performance.
I think it's just. I think we can be fairly loose with it because it's not supposed to be something very serious. Like again, like Zajev says,
hardcore list.
Yeah, like Zajev says, it's more interesting to hear our explanations for our relative placements than it is for really going into anything deeper than that.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, you guys can go ham on your discussions. I'm just gonna be in the background reading the chat for you guys. If there's anything interesting, I'll just.
Which chat? Is it my chat where they just died on bench?
Someone in chat said tier lists are a terrible format. They really are. They're a good conversation starter. and we're using it to talk about units, basically.
Hey, you know, the secondary content that we get from it too, when you guys are gonna post this on Reddit, is gonna be great. Thank you for that.
Oh man,
Bro,
this is going to be the KQM officially endorsed tier list.
official Keqing tier list. Thighs of bed.
I'm glad I'm not in
Please
charge
no.
of that one.
Anyway, move on. Let's
Ultimately,
move on.
If people get interested
Next
in our
unit.
thoughts on this and they like look at our reasoning on that because they got baited in by a tier list, that's fine. Whatever.
Okay, do we want to pick any unit in specific? Do we want to round out a certain element? Do we want to do anything like that?
I want to ask, because these characters are pretty similar in my opinion. Where would you put Beidou?
Fuck. The Beidou question. The Beidou official question, dude. It's just...
No, not Fischl. Fischl, in my opinion, is always one tier higher or better than her. But where would you put Beidou? And if I want to ask you guys, because this is how I feel. I feel like Yae is literally just Beidou at C2, but single target.
I feel like it's easier if we like vote on.
I don't think that's gonna ever reach a conclusion.
Tenten, you're
Yeah,
cutting out a little bit.
But like if we're talking about team performance, where do we put Beidou?
Okay, so I think in general, the rankings since like, I don't know, even like 6 months ago have shifted quite a bit.
Yeah, right.
Beidou, Fischl, and I guess even Yae these days are very... They're still strong. It's just, I don't know, it's...
You know what I realized lately?
What is that?
Taser's just been Fischl all along, man.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Beidou or Yae. You just want to run more damage with them.
It's just all about Fischl.
And then we realized, wait, what if we just don't use a second electro? We use a pyro, and then it's soup, and now it's like a little even funnier.
It's... They're all such good candidates for going into like S or A. It's very, I don't know, it's very hard to describe how uncertain their positions feel relative to the rest of the roster.
A+.
I would put Beidou above Mona, but I don't think she belongs with Ayato.
I don't think she belongs in S, but yeah, I was thinking of A.
I would
just simplify it to A.
Yeah, maybe like top of A, and then Fischl can go in S.
Yeah, we should try to not make plus tier.
Okay, so to describe this, so Fischl's A4 procs and C6 Fischl are really what make her stand out on top of her energy generation, right? So the idea right now is that...
I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't?
I think that the biggest thing about Fischl is that all that she gets without being a restriction for team building in any team. You're never like, man, I want to run Fischl, but I don't have a battery for her. You're never like, man, I want to run Fischl, but I don't have enough buffs to make her work. You're never like, man, I want to run Fischl, but my units spend too much time on field, so I can't swap to her. No. Fischl does all that she does at basically no cost to your team building. Her only cost is a team slot. And the amount of shit that she does for the, like, the lack of restrictions that she has on your team is just not fucking balanced, man.
She's also pretty, like, you can get her geared up pretty fast if you do anything else, because you can just throw whatever leftovers you have. It's like, she'll do work, and you can use Proto Crescent. Like, a lot of her is like, she will always work anywhere, and she can kind of use anything, and it's still good, even if you're not using the quote-unquote correct stuff.
I like a message in your chat, Tenten.
What? Which one? Thighs of veg?
Thighs of veg?
Eyes of veg.
Sounds like me right now. It's 2 a.m. But you know what? That's fine. I slept until 1 p.m. today, so...
I don't know what message it is. All I see is thighs of veg.
So to add on to that, I think Fischl in general is just she's so versatile. Like if she did literally anything else besides what she did, she'd be a very strong candidate to just keep flying up and up in the rankings. But yeah, I mean, she's remained relevant even though things have come in and out of the meta. She's just always there. While Beidou, her value in 2 target situations is like astronomical. The problem she runs into is the energy and the healing on her. That her team compositions just kind of are much more difficult to build around her, and nothing that's come out since 1.0 has really kind of abated any of her issues.
Yeah.
And there's so many more things just
like
easier to build with her.
Yeah. It's also like not that much content is 2 target. Some of it is, but there are just recent abysses. Some of it has been like single target. Some of it has been mobbing, and that's just not necessarily the content that Beidou is strongest in.
What the?
Well, single target definitely.
I would hesitate between like high A or low. One thing that's for sure though is Fischl's probably above Xiangling, and at the very least above the Hydro units.
I would put her above the Hydro units, but above Xiangling, I'm not sure.
I mean, I think these 3 are probably just gonna be like whatever. I don't think it really matters too much.
There's still so many things that we just don't really notice her, but it's really huge.
Just use all 3 of them at the same time. Oh my god.
That's interesting. I mean, I think like a year ago we would have been like, what are these dudes smoking, man? What? But yeah, I don't know. It's the general trend for these types of things is like the meta is shifting, and I don't know. It's been
honestly, it's literally just wow. Electro reactions have just been really good all along. Fuck.
Dude, remember
live from base.
It was like
a sheer rate of reactions, and it's good.
Like 1.0, it was like, oh, official god tier, super good. Then we're like, oh, no,
official's kind of meh,
and then now it's like, oh, it's just pretty good.
So like the thing is like the thing is like electro reactions have always been very hard to track. Things like soup require fairly high investment with like your levels and stuff like that, and it's an impossible.
Fairly high investment in brain power to figure out.
Yeah, on top of like just unit investment, it's very hard for us to really confirm or deny whether or not they're like good or not. But we have the tools now to just simulate the reactions, and they're fairly accurate. I think
Overload got a lot better ever since we're not fighting like Halo Shields anymore.
Yeah, like old Abyss 12, it was what, like Cryo Whopper Flowers, Fatuis.
God.
Like, and now it's just
Overload like against Whopper Flowers is so fucking bad.
Negative poise gaming.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I don't like Overload in this Abyss either because I don't like it against like. So
this Abyss is just Venti Impact. Move on.
Okay, Tenten.
All right.
I don't know about you, but I beat the Abyss in like 40 minutes. That's like a record.
Yeah, I don't even think I've done my Abyss.
20 minutes, and like you and I both know that took more than 40 minutes.
No, it was
record 40 minutes.
Fucking hell.
Okay.
I can't see Tenten's chat right now, but I'm pretty sure I know what they're all spamming.
Bro, you know how when the Whopper spawn, they deal damage.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I'm opening his chat. Hold on.
Oh no! I can't.
Open his video. Okay, and skip to the 12-2 start.
Oh no!
Which video?
Oh no!
I haven't seen this. What is it?
Green square. Post the green square.
Hold on, am I lacking critical information right now? Which video is this?
I think we're both lacking critical information right now.
Oh no! I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is what I get for not keeping up to
Is it his
date with
Ayato
10
video
videos.
at 12 minutes?
It's the last video, the Abyss video.
Abyss.
Green square. Post the green square.
What time?
I don't know the time, but it's 12-2.
12.
I will show it on my stream. Hold on. I'm actually dying so cringe.
No, you're just cringe.
Oh my
Dies
God.
on edge.
What am I looking
you're just
for?
cringe.
Oh, now it's hitting us.
Someone just linked me in. Okay, I don't know what they're
Hitting
talking
us
about.
hard.
Oh, someone linked me at gaming. 12.
Great.
Genshin 2.6 Abyss is too easy.
It's this part.
Selected units. Wow.
Dies on bench.
I'm gonna mod that guy in my chat. Hang on.
Wow.
God. Wow.
DC gameplay true. Honestly, man, I'm pretty sure if Tenten didn't become a YouTuber, people wouldn't think YouTubers don't play the game.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Holy shit.
W.
My gameplay is better than Psyox.
Is it though?
It's literally
I've never died on
36 Star
stream.
Abyss without using like a keyboard. Or no, without using a mouse. Without using a mouse.
I beat Abyss with controller. Badge.
Bro, I can do that on
Okay, let's move back to tier list. Move on. Next character.
Okay. Enough clowning on 1010. Alright.
Also, I didn't watch anime too, so.
What's the next character here?
We just play Abyss all the time?
Put Yae right behind Beidou.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Really?
You think so? Well, he is the Yae theory crafting lane, so let's hear the explanation.
So, number wise, if it's not like okay, yeah, Beidou optimal 2 target or whatever. But Yae just like her biggest value, I guess, is that you want to run Fischl with someone like Beidou, but you want to do it in 2 teams. So you just run Yae and the other one. Or you run that is the only thing. Otherwise, she just doesn't do any utility. And she doesn't have like the freedom to just do whatever the fuck she wants, like Fischl, because she's pretty greedy. You need energy for the burst. Like you can burst every other rotation. It is similar DPS, but you still have to burst. She doesn't snapshot her shit, so you have to keep in mind when you're actually swapping her in with her buffs for like Sara or Bennett. And just like because she doesn't really offer anything like Fischl, where you know you have particle generation or reactions. Quite literally, it is just raw damage. Beidou does something similar, but Beidou also, in my opinion, her niche is a little bit more special to her. Single target damage isn't really I don't think it's a niche anymore. So many characters can do it. So many characters are good in it, and it's just like all right, but in those scenarios where like double ruin guard, double electro dog, Beidou's so cracked, and it's like I don't really see why you would ever pick Yae there, in my opinion.
Yae for me was like that final piece of the puzzle where I can make stable 2 taser teams in the Abyss.
I think
I have 2 tasers now.
I actually have this like that written like the guide that I'm like still working on, but like I think a lot of teams you can kind of just do Beidou, Fischl, Yae in a triangle and just pivot to which one would fit better in the scenario.
Fischl.
Yeah.
I think
Fischl's always
Yae.
on. Fischl's always on.
I think among all of the limited 5 stars, I think Yae might be my least favorite.
Yeah, honestly, like it's like sure they can output similar damage under certain circumstances, but like you're spending 6 fucking seconds getting knocked and staggered and killed versus literally gaining damage reduction.
I think Yae. Yeah, I think among all of the limited 5 stars, including Klee, including Shenhe, including like and even Albedo, or Zhongli, I think she might be my least favorite.
I think Yae is one of my least favorite limited 5 stars.
She's just
I don't like her in story either. She's a bitch.
no. It's
not that part.
Wow.
I just
Whoa, hold on.
I just
What?
don't like how she does nothing. She's just damage. She doesn't provide anything other than damage, and she takes a long time to do it. On top of like not being able to use many of the units that we consider good to buff, like she steals them. She steals like the best units to use, but like returns almost nothing that like the other options could.
Here,
I think the biggest thing is that every single limited 5-star, when you're comparing it to their 4-star equivalent or standard 5-star equivalent, the limited will provide something different. So you have a reason to use them ever. Burst damage on Q, okay, sure. I can also just use Raiden and have the same effect. What does Yae bring over Fischl or Beidou that isn't just damage? Because
she's hotter.
Yeah, you're gonna do more damage. Like even you can even extend this to like Shenhe, Kaeya, or Rosaria. She will do something. She does the same thing, but she does like the way that you play with her. You can do something different, or you can just expand your teams. Yae, because she uses the same fucking teammates as every single good character, while also not providing anything new for those characters. It's like, why?
Have you guys looked at Yae's like rotation notes?
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about Yae though is that you just see in rotation footnotes you see Yae EEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEEeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeeee It's so bad.
But it like genuinely, she doesn't provide anything over. Like she, as an alternative, doesn't provide much, and it's like never a situation where I want to use this character here.
I mean, Zajif,
only
Tenten,
reason-
do you guys have any thoughts on it?
Like,
Well, the thing I always care about the most, which is not reflected in the tier list, is like value, right? So earlier we said like you pick two between Fischl, Beidou, and Yae. So why the fuck would I pick the one that costs more and sucks more to play, right? Like what?
Do you know why you pick Yae?
Side boop.
Right now, emerge. Right here. Right
Dice of cringe.
why are you using
Right
EN?
here, right now.
EN.
Okay,
But like,
you know what? We're done with Yae. Okay, she's all right. Okay, she does damage, but like that's it.
nothing. It's just only.
If you
damage.
like her, I mean, it's just she's so lukewarm, compared to the other
I'm happy
options.
with where
she is.
I'm a Yae main. I wailed to get constellations and weapons, and I still think she's just whatever. Because I have to be
Didn't you
honest.
like die once? Didn't you die once?
What do you mean dying?
You didn't you like fucking go into like hibernation mode after trying to wait for Yae?
Oh yeah, I died for the day because I stayed up for live stream.
We can move on. Does any other characters we want to do here? Okay, let's. Yeah.
I want to.
I would put Shenhe above.
You want to go to
Yae.
bed?
That is what I would do.
Isn't it 2 a.m. where you guys are?
It's 2
It
a.m.
I mean, feel free to step on that if we can continue this another time or.
I said I want to do Ayaka. I don't.
Oh,
I don't
Ayaka. I heard
okay.
bed. Okay, Ayaka. Okay.
Bad.
Any other units you want to lump her with, or do you just want to do Ayaka on alone?
Probably
we can do
Ganyu.
Ganyu.
Probably
Yeah.
Ganyu.
A lot of people constantly compare Ayaka and Ganyu, so it might be a good point.
All right. Where do you want her? Where do you want her?
No, easily.
I mean, I don't think you should ask me that because.
Oh, we know. We already know, dude.
I think.
Minimally
I think-
answer. Based on where
I think they're
everything else
both
is.
ass. I don't think.
I think
Personally,
they're both.
I
ass
think
for sure.
I'm the most non-critical of Ganyu when I'm thinking of these two out of like all of us here. I think I'm still coping, I guess, in terms of how I would rate Ganyu, but like there's no denying that Ayaka has been very, very strong in the abysses we've had and will continue to be strong.
Yep.
I think in terms of pool value, fantastic. There's no reason to really not pull for her because she can always be run almost always orthogonally or uses different units than your other team will, almost always.
Since especially the Ayaka rematch that's coming up, I would honestly like just pull Ayaka unless you have Ganyu. Is what I would like to say. To be honest, it's pretty close. It's actually pretty close. Like,
I mean, yes and no. Like, yes, if you have the primo gems to do it, but she's not necessary.
Well, like yeah, Ayaka is not a must pull, but I would say like in the right circumstances, she is pretty close.
Mhm.
I would actually put Ayaka over, say, like Chio.
I would put her above Raiden, and then I would
probably above Raiden.
That is where I would.
Yeah, I think this is where I would put her too. I think
I would put Ayaka over Raiden.
I think Ganyu probably goes around here somewhere. I think
Ganyu like right after Raiden.
I think the thing is like they do so much with so very little. They have craftable weapons. They have an artifact set that gives them 40% crit rate for existing. And they do so much damage just for hitting one button. They excel at different things. Obviously Ganyu is a little bit more dependent on groupable enemies. And Ayaka is just able to knock anything down as long as you're, not casting your Q while something's dashing.
Actually, I do have a sorry. This might be this is a side topic, but I do have a genuine question now. Now that we're talking about elements and artifacts being like helping out. There has been a bit of a discussion during my times on a stream about like what is the strongest element so far in the game.
Oh, we talked about that a lot already.
We can talk about that later.
It's Anemo.
It's Anemo. It's Anemo. No, we have an exact order.
If you want to know why, we can discuss in depth. But
yeah, we talked about that a lot.
Yeah. Anemo Hydro Cryo tie between Pyro and wait, no. I missed.
I would say Electro over Pyro.
Yeah,
actually, I don't know.
So would I, but I think it's arguable.
So arguable, yeah.
Electro and Pyro, and then fucking G.
It's the age of Electro boys.
No, it's fucking Dandro. But this right here, this,
never coming out even at 3.2.
This list right here, I think there's no question. Like we talked about this over the course of a year already. It's always Anemo and then Hydro and then Crowd, and then we debate between Electro and Pyro, but they're the same shit, honestly. And then fuck Geo.
Yep.
Like there's zero debate over this. I think we always just align it.
I really honestly don't think there's any room for anything shuffling around unless the Dendro reactions are just fucking cracked out of their mind. It's just how it is. It's just how it is.
Given what we know, Dendro's probably fucking better than Geo. You can't possibly worse than Geo's, right?
True. True and base.
Surely.
Clueless. Literally clueless.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay. So Ayaka Ganyu very strong as always. I think among the units that are I mean, did you want to talk about Ayaka more? Anyone here before we move on?
My question is, do you think Ayaka is above Kazuha?
No.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I wouldn't say so.
Oh.
Okay, let me revisit Kazuha real quick. I think he's very good when you have spare primo. I think among the strong 5 stars, you don't actually are ever like very much pressured to pick him. His team comms are substitutable with other units, and he's good at what he does, but like he's just a very comfy and more fun to do it than like his alternatives. I think Ayaka is the premier cryo unit right now. I think being able to run a freeze team is
the premier carry right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that really, like, being able to run freeze, getting 40% crit rate, being able to use a craftable weapon, like, it's just, there's so much going for her that, yeah, I mean, you could probably argue that she's better than a Kazuha.
I probably still wouldn't put her higher than Sucrose and Kazuha.
I think it's close.
Gotta stick to our elemental reactions.
Yeah, I don't know if I would put her above Kazuha either, but I think there is a strong argument that you could make that would put her above him. Because what I'm thinking is, in comparison to the next best option in their slot, Ayaka just is massively better. Unless you have like a Ganyu, then in which case you could say like not necessarily, but Kazuha, your alternative is a 4-star in terms of Sucrose. And yeah, there's of course the argument that you want to have a Kazuha on one side and a Sucrose on the other side. But let's say you like only need one, then in that case, Ayaka is better than the next best 4-star free-to-play option, which is Kaeya in this instance, by more than Kazuha is better than Sucrose by. I think there's also the argument to be made that you're like if you want to play by meta or whatever, then in half or more of all cases, your teams are going to be some variation of a vape team, whether that's like Hu Tao VV vape, Xiangling vape with Childe, whatever, and freeze. And Ayaka is just the best possible unit to use for freeze, in which case, then you're always going to have a use for Ayaka, and she is the best use. She is the best unit to use in that use case. I don't know if I would necessarily say that is sufficient to put her above Kazuha, but I think that there could be that's a good argument for what.
I just remembered. Nah, I'm not gonna put Ayaka over Kazuha. When Azo was talking about that, and I'm like, Keq, wait, Thunder Manifestation.
Okay.
Bruh, is that really your reason?
No, but just in general, like there's things Ayaka. I think it's pretty close to that. You always run Ayaka, but there's still times where you might not want to run Ayaka.
Is there any units that we want to move on to, unless someone has something final thoughts on Ayaka?
D tier.
I think we should finish with the 2 other units that can arguably be S.
Sure.
Are you guys Kaeya and Rosaria?
No.
Are you talking about Venti?
I think there's an argument to be made for Venti and a Hu Tao in S.
Yeah.
And I think all of the other units are pretty safely here and under.
Let me go for the list. I would argue Hu Tao and Venti as well. I don't know if there's any other character off my glance that would ever belong to S. I feel like this S is too big, by the way.
Our S is fucking wild.
It's because they released 3 Hydras, dude. There's so many similar.
I think it's fine. I honestly don't think that you could.
I mean, I think it's fine.
I think they're all like these are the units that you build teams around. I think the ones that are important or hold significant value to the team comps that they belong in, and I think it's fine that S is very wide.
Why harder?
Why?
We wide?
Wide harder?
So to start, right? Why is Venti not automatically an SS anymore or anything like that? I think the thinking around it is that the Abyss has been very not kind to Venti for a while, and the idea of, oh, if it's Ventiable, then he's the best option. The thing is like, how often do we get that, and how close can other units really mimic it?
Yeah. I think the main thing about Venti is when he works, he's definitely SS, way better than all. Like, it's not even close. When he doesn't work, he's about
like A. Yeah, that's what exactly where.
Yeah, I think so too.
We can basically, I think it's a fair assessment to just average it out around S.
Yeah.
But where in S tier would you put him? Is the question. Do you think he's above Childe?
I don't know.
I don't think it really matters where he goes as long as he's just in S.
Put him in the fucking bottom of it then.
Just make a Venti tier. Just make it funny.
I'm trying to think.
I think right now I would move Hu Tao below Venti. Probably.
So
in the current moment.
For Hu Tao here, we have a unit that is attached to the hip to Xingqiu and is she's just a very strong vape unit. With her animation cancels, with and without, I suppose. She's very, she literally forces her way into the S tier because of how much damage she just spits out.
Right.
I think Hu Tao is pretty interesting because it's really just Xingqiu. You can kind of just run 2 dogs after that. It makes team building pretty easy if your second team doesn't need Xingqiu.
Yeah.
What does Hajab say?
Yeah, Tenten, can you mod me in your chat so I can take a look at some logs?
He's Bob Hardo.
I
I'm not gonna bonk the hardos. I just want to look at someone's chat logs because I think.
Alright. So to go more into Hu Tao, I think that her ability to just use Xingqiu and no one else is very. I don't think it's really stated enough how useful it is. I think we've talked about it before, where yeah, you can run Bennett, Xiangling, and Childe on the other side, and you can use Hu Tao, Xingqiu on one side, and you've literally set up two of the strongest Abyss teams, right? But it doesn't extend to just Childe and Vape. You can use Taser on the other side, you can use Freeze on the other side, and Hu Tao will never pull a unit away from them.
I think it's really prevalent now with the Herald Lectors, because Hu Tao, Xingqiu, and then you run Electro if you ever need it, or Cryo. It's like, you will have those options, and it won't really impact Hu Tao that much. And it's just so comfy when you have a unit that destroys high health enemies and also can clear elemental checks without really thinking. Like, you can't really go wrong. It's just she won't be like. Sometimes she just won't be the best if there's too many enemies. That's literally it.
You guys' thoughts on this, tenten, etc.?
Wait, hold on. I was wide hardoing. What did I miss?
I was wide hardoing. What did I miss?
Zashev, you.
Wait, what did he do?
What are you doing? I'm not looking at Twitch right now.
What did he do?
What do you guys think? Hu Tao?
Hu Tao?
Yeah.
I think right now Hu Tao is kind of sus.
I put her probably where she is. I think that she has, as Jinx would say, she has so many caveats, but she outputs so much damage to make up for those caveats that it's probably justifiable to put her in S.
Right now, I think Hu Tao would be S. For now, I think Hu Tao is a strong pickup that anyone can consider for boss content. But if I have to choose, I'll probably choose to use Xingqiu with Raiden instead. For now, but if I think if you have spare people, it's good to pick up a Hu Tao, because it's like, okay, they put Maku Genki on one side, PMA on the other side, and then that's when you whip out with a Hu Tao, right? And that's like really good.
I think
You whip out the Hu Tao.
I think in terms of evaluating like a DPS, Xiao, Eula, and Itto, and I suppose Yoimiya in this case, just don't stand out from among each other. And Hu Tao is like the unit that we think, like, that pops into our mind when we think like, okay, you need to burn down something.
I mean, to be fair, Yoimiya does stand out, just not in the right way.
Wow.
She's standing far away. Okay.
Because unlike any of those other units, can't do AoE.
No. I think I'm fine with how we placed them here, because a single target is so much more valuable than being able to round out your AoE and your non-AoE.
By the way, I would like to make a comment that it's VV Tao we're talking about. If you play double Geo Tao, fuck you.
Wait, I played double Geo Tao.
I played double Geo.
Art and I literally talk about how Hu Tao is just Xingqiu and 2 dot. And you can run whatever the fuck you want.
Tenten, you know what the best thing about double Geo Tao is?
What?
Is that if by some miracle of God they were to buff Xingqiu to give him 1.5 units of application, one.
Wait, why would you not run Thoma VV instead?
Because if by another miracle,
my Thoma's level 20. That's why.
Wait. No, put Thoma in D right now. Put Thoma in D right now.
If by another miracle they were to buff Xingqiu's burst and E cooldown so that it lines up with an 18-second rotation instead of a 21-second rotation, you'd end up running into some problems with your setup taking too long in VV Vape.
Is that really? I don't know about. I didn't think that far ahead yet. Okay, but
it would be like, you're too big brain for me.
Theoretically speaking, Thoma VV would be better, right? But you know.
Theoretically speaking.
Yeah. I'm looking at theory. We're theory crafting, okay? We're all theory. Theoretically speaking, Thoma may be better.
Can we
Okay.
put Thoma in D tier?
Okay.
No, I think Thoma would be C.
Okay, bottom of C.
Bottom C is probably fine. At least considering what we currently know about the game.
I think
Yep.
Thoma is.
C.
He's just not that great. It's just. Yeah, I don't know how to really describe it. We took like a really quick look at him, played him a little bit, and he's just. The shield is far too weak. His pyro damage is just not that great. Yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? He does things.
Well, my question though is, do you think he's better than Xinyan?
I think almost certainly so.
Thoma.
I think certainly
No,
so.
definitely. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I see.
He's better than Xinyan.
The problem with Thoma is that like for a character that's supposed to be like a band-aid support for another character, why is he so expensive? Why does he need so much ER? Like what the
Honestly, I think like, the thing that's the most often like looked over about Thoma is that his shield is actually really good. Like
No, his shield is pretty good.
It's a really tanky shield.
It's good, but the problem is about maintaining it. You have to invest. Unironically have to invest a lot into him to make him work, and it's just like why?
Not really. You just
I
need
think not
half
really.
lance, a little bit of crit,
Yeah.
many R sands, and another pyro unit on your team.
I think Thoma is underrated. Like, what? Here's a question: what would you rather have? We're talking about without VVV contacts. Like, what would you rather have that not Thoma? I mean, obviously, like LSG Amber, but you know,
I just don't think he really fits into that many teams right now. I think he's fairly relatively unexplored in that sense. Yeah, I don't remember much TC happening with Thoma, to be honest. I think maybe we'll have to feature him at some point.
I remember Terrapin was experimenting him in Sukokomon, but then he disappeared. So
He has a job now, yeah. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel
What
about.
team? Who? Thoma?
Sukokomon, yeah.
Sukoko Thoma.
Thinking about it, but I don't think that it's ever going to be. I don't know. We'll have to think.
You just don't have enough application.
Yeah, because he has ICD on his queue. So
Honestly, Xinyan would be better.
exactly.
True.
Wait, fuck. Maybe.
Maybe.
Wait a minute.
Xinyan is better than
Wait a
Thoma.
minute.
No, because honestly, like his shield is relevant, and he is like pretty decent in some like setups for Hu Tao. Overall,
like,
I
what,
think he's a fine unit.
on his shield? Yeah.
He's probably not as bad as Keqing.
Yeah. Keqing is just teapot character.
Oh my.
True. Base.
Okay.
Honestly, okay. I was thinking of making the tier list for waifu, right? And then I'm like, where would I put Keqing? It's probably fucking like D. So Keqing's kind of
Really? You
Bro,
don't
what
like
the
Keqing?
fuck?
Just
Cat girl's overrated.
It's just not even a cat girl.
Man, I heckin' love authoritarian.
I'm all of a sudden very uncomfortable and feel like everything's gonna happen now.
No, by the way, off topic. I was thinking of what content we're making at Anime Expo.
We're just gonna live stream everything. We're gonna live stream you getting drunk and passing out again.
All right, Tenten,
Oh,
we're gonna do a
yeah,
panel.
that's-
Tenten, we're gonna do a panel, and we're just gonna do a Genshin tier list.
Dude, wait, 10-10. Okay, 10-10. We can legitimately do a panel though, because Uba might be staying with us, Ubacha. And well, actually, no, they would probably arrest him if they knew there was here. But we can do one with like just Genshin theory crafting and stuff. I think it would be really interesting.
Doing a panel.
Anton, do you have
I
a
could
streamer
apply to do
backpack?
one, but I don't think we have enough clout. We definitely don't have enough clout, but like, it would be cool. Whatever.
Tenten doesn't want to do a
Alright,
panel.
Move on. Move on. Move on.
We'll figure it
You
out
wanna
later.
go-
We
you
have
want to
3
do
months
Chi
still.
Chi because I'm ready to just fucking.
Chi.
I mean, who else is interesting here? I mean, we have Xiao, we have Jean, we have.
Alright.
Eula,
You
Itto,
wanna
and
get through all the
Rosaria
popular character that make people mold? So like Xiao, Eula,
Zhongli.
and
No, we have to do
Itto.
Zhongli.
Okay, yeah.
Xiao,
Let's handle this one with care. Okay, Zhao,
Wait.
Eula.
Zhongli.
I am
Itto-
not saying anything about. I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
There's yeah, honestly, there's no reason to say anything about these two. You know, I'm fine with just leaving them down here. I think from past experiences, I think it's okay to leave Xiao and Eula ambiguous. Okay, they're wherever they want you
wait,
to.
you think it's bad? Wait, what? Wait, you think Xiao is? I think Xiao is okay.
We're not saying things about Xiao because if we're not putting him above Bennett, then we're gonna get fucking...
I cannot confirm or deny whether or not they're good or bad, Tenten. I'm sorry.
Is Xiao? What is Xiao?
Here,
Okay, fine.
He's lacking the critical information.
Alright, what critical information I lack?
I'm not a content creator. I'm not the head of KQM, so I can say things about them and not get canceled.
Just say they're D.
Honestly, you think that, but just you wait until there's a...
Okay, so I already got canceled hard enough when I went to Eula mains and said they were all ass mad, so it's good.
Eula being ass mad.
It is already enough to just go ham. Let's move on, guys. You know, I think we should.
Dude, let's do Kaeya, Rosaria, Shenhe. All three are like same.
There's quite a few pairs left to.
Okay. Just pick a random character.
All right, Zhongli.
Zhongli.
We don't really need to go into why. We kind of just.
I would think it's not S for sure. Guarantee.
Well, yeah.
Really?
I don't think so.
Guarantee not S.
I think if we look at the S's, they're all units that excel at being a support, like so much so more than anything else below them, or they have the ability to warp the team and the meta around them. And yeah.
Would it even be A is what I'm thinking right now? Would he even be A?
I would put him at least high A. And my reasoning behind that is, I think it's always very easy to say Zhongli Q DPS loss, Zhongli doesn't do that much damage, whatever, that's all true. If you look at sheets, the numbers that he is never going to be the best in slot support for a team typically. He's just not going to add enough numbers. But the thing is, he does prevent you from getting interrupted. And getting interrupted is a gigantic DPS loss. So he adds a lot of invisible value to teams, I think.
Okay, but what teams do you run Zhongli on where you don't have another form of resistance to interruption?
I guess you could say Hu Tao.
Hu Tao?
You can say...
Both Hu Tao and Xingqiu give resistance to interruption.
Without charge attack, yeah, I think
Zhongli's not doing shit in terms of resistance to interruption. It's just the shield that's doing something.
Yeah, I would like, agree with Sajab there. I don't think Zhongli prevent you from interrupting.
The only like clear one then is Ganyu Melt, but I also hate Ganyu Melt.
Melt, Ganyu, and Yoimiya.
Okay, yeah, I think of the teams that really like can fit a Zhongli in, and his like kit is kind of used fully. It's probably just Ganyu Melt and Yoimiya.
And I would actually,
I guess Klee as well. Maybe.
Yeah, now I'll actually move him down to a B because I feel like those two teams are not.
I would put him in B for sure.
Yeah, I would now move him down to a B because of that. Because I wasn't discussed it.
Pain.
Oh no.
All right.
I think historically we've almost always put him in like B.
Yeah,
we always historically put him.
Used to be a mid B for your old tier list. I remember.
Do you want to go through Xiao, Eula,
and Itto? I think these are like the three harbingers of our Twitch chats. I think I'll just. I don't know.
Here's the solution, Art. You piss off people so much that they get too mad at you, and then they can't be mad at you anymore. So put them all in D tier.
I mean, I think, if we want to talk about it briefly, Eula has a lot of gameplay I'll criticize them for you. Where do you guys want to score them? I'll talk about them.
I think, in theory, it's okay to put them in A.
Really? I wouldn't put them in A. I would put Eula in B. Like
I would love to put fucking Eula in lower, but I would actually give her like.
If I want to be truthful, I'm just gonna put Eula like low B. That's what I think.
If I want to be truthful, I would put her between A and B.
I would put two of those three units in A and one of them in B, and I'm not gonna say which ones.
I can agree with that.
Okay, I think I don't know where I don't know where I would put Xiao or Itto in A, but I think they are in A.
Oh, by the way, chat. Small reminder: this is Zajov, not Zajeff. Okay.
Why harder?
For anything I've said,
Quickly change your tag.
Hey, this
tag.
is
Hold on,
Ali. This is not.
I would like
Beidou, this is
to
Ali.
remind everyone in my chat right now that Sajab is a mod. I mean, sorry, Sajub is a mod in our chat right now.
it's not the Joof, it's the Jove.
Where
Oh.
okay, where would you guys put Xiao and Itto then?
No way, probably.
Low A.
Is Yae better than them?
No.
No.
Is Beidou better than them?
Beidou, I would say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're looking at something like this then.
With high Ados, that's.
I mean,
there's.
I mean, we still haven't put Jean in here.
Gene A. Done.
Top A.
Gene is how. I think Gene and Albedo is how.
I mean, we also haven't put Kaeya or like
Kaeya, Rosaria.
Shenhe or
those are all top of A.
Rosaria.
Okay, top of A, go next. Top of A.
Okay.
Just shove all of them in top of A. Fuck it.
Sunfire is the most based thing in the game.
Shenhe top of A, right?
Sunfire is so fun and cool and based. And if you play it, you have a massive cock. Like,
What if we use the two double S tier units, Jean and Raiden in one team? Based.
Okay.
Live from base.
So we just threw up like a ton of stuff here. I'll run through the stuff that we don't want to talk about because these communities already probably don't like me. So Eula is in B and Zhongli in B. So Zhongli's value is mostly revolving around how comfortable he is. For mobile players, he's almost indispensable. But in general, he's just not that much more valuable in terms of team building over anything else. In the teams that you can slot him in, he's just whatever, and the teams that he excels in are just not that impressive in general. So Melt Ganyu and Yoimiya.
The biggest thing about him is so many meta teams already run Bennett, which basically makes you unkillable, or Xingqiu plus a healer, which also makes you unkillable, or Freeze, which makes the enemies not able to hit you. There's actually really not that many good teams that need that comfort because you have other ways to get the comfort without having to run a unit that doesn't do much. Like,
okay, look, chat.
We're so scared of talking about this.
I have successfully cleared it every abyss without Zhongli. You guys think I'm skill issue streamer, but I beat the abyss, so fuck you. Fuck Zhongli.
Okay, and then
actually true. If Tenten can beat the abyss without Zhongli,
Oh my god.
okay, so
shitting on Tenten again.
So to move on, well, I'll briefly touch Eula here. She's physical damage, and in general, that's just not it, Chief. She isn't able to typically run any sub DPSs that can really ameliorate how long she has to spend on field because she needs so much more. She needs superconduct to be relevant. So she automatically needs an electro unit. She has super high energy costs and isn't able to pre-funnel. And that in its own is one of the worst things about her. Her ability not to buffer her cryo particles and forcing her to battery 80 cryo energy every single time she needs to cast her burst is just not that great. Even if you run... Yeah.
God, I'm gonna say a thing about Ella, but I don't think that she's as reliant. Seem to think
on what you cut out
on Electro.
I mean,
superconduct doesn't give you that much damage. Like it's like a slightly less than 20% if you're not against a really high physical resistance. Well, she already gets her resistance.
Yeah,
true on her whole D,
which puts like base enemies that have 10% resistance under 0% already, right? And I think that a lot of people view Ella as this unit where it's really difficult to slot in a shield breaker because you're on at least one other cryo plus an electro unit, and that kind of leaves you with really limited options for shield breaking. But the electro unit isn't as necessary as you would think when you need to run a shield breaker. Like, you can definitely get away just swapping that electro unit for a shield breaker.
So In terms of team building, then, if you slot out an Electro, what are you running? Just I don't know, Xingqiu, I guess.
You're
Something-
running. Honestly, you are running Shatter Eula.
Okay.
Because as much as Shatter is a meme, when you're playing Shatter Eula, you are getting some freeze uptime, which
What the fuck?
I mean, if you could freeze, all of Eula's problems would be solved, or almost all of them. And so, being able to get some freeze uptime is actually useful. It helps mitigate some of her problems.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
I've actually liked Eula with Kokomi against the Rift Hounds.
Yes.
When the first time the Rift Hounds came, I did an account review of someone that had Eula and wanted to play her, and I kind of just gave up on Electro and just played with Kokomi with a like
Fair enough.
free starter team instead.
Kokomi, Rosaria, Eula feels really comfy to play.
I think a long time ago, back when I tested Eula out, I played her with Kaeya in the water zoo abyss, and it did a lot of damage. Those shatters, they were just everywhere. Like you would just freeze like 4 things at once, and you would just see like 40,000 worth of damage just pop all at once because she's just autoing. So yeah, maybe perhaps I've been too harsh. But I think in general her gameplay problems still kind of severely impact her from being pushed up any further. Yeah, I'm still not sold on the idea that Eula is very
I mean, here
worthwhile.
is my question. Why would I run Eula over any of the character in the higher anarchy?
That's
Here's the important question to answer. Why would I run Eula over, say, Itto? I mean, like, obviously, like, if you there's no competition between like Ayaka and Eula, who is like at the top of the tier list. But why would I run Eula over, say, Itto even?
damage per screenshot.
For what reason, right? Like, man, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think there's always the argument that people like to make that's like, oh, but you don't run Bennett with Eula, whatever. And while that's true, you can also not run Bennett with like a lot of the units on this list that I would consider better than her. You can run Kaeya Rosaria freeze. That's a Bennettless team. You can run Kazuha Venti Thundering Fury Kazuha with Venti and like Barbara and Fischl. That's a Bennettless team.
Itto is
You
a
can run
Bennettless team.
Itto, that's a Bennettless team. You can run Taser, that's a Bennettless team. There are literally so many of these teams that you can run as Bennettless that I think it just kind of, if that's the only strength that Eula has, I don't think that's enough to justify her being higher.
Bennettless is overrated. Consider how many teammates Bennettless nowadays. Bennettless is overrated.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
think-
it's
even think
definitely still
it's-
very important. I just don't think it's sufficient for her to be pushed to a higher.
You know what we
tier.
should talk about? Xingqiu list. What team cannot run Xingqiu and therefore are not very good?
What?
Shut up. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, I think in general she's fine, but she's just it's very hard to make arguments for her to be higher than the other. I don't know. Would you guys put her in B or
Burn B.
That I wasn't gonna. Nope.
I
Okay.
100% would put her in B.
Okay. All right.
On to the next one.
We have Xiao and Itto.
I want to say something about Itto. I think a lot of people either undervalue Itto because
He's
I don't
Geo.
know. Yeah, I guess because he's Geo, or overvalue Itto because they don't realize how big the gap is between a C6 Gorou and Albedo Itto comp and a C1 Gorou and no Albedo Itto comp.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it's such a big gap.
Yeah. With C6 Gorou, it's like a 45% increase over base geo resonance. With not C6, it's like a 27%. It's a gigantic gap.
Yeah.
And like,
I
yeah,
think
that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's big.
Albedo's taking advantage of that buff as well,
Exactly.
right? So you gain so much more when you have those two, which also means that in comparison to that, if you don't have them, you're really far from the full potential you can get out of Itto. And a lot of the showcases you'll see Itto is from streamers who ended up going for those things, right? They have an Albedo, they have a C6 Gorou, and even when it's a C0 Itto with like R1 Serpent Spine, free to play friendly or low budget, battle
4-star weapon showcase.
like even White Blind R5 free to play Itto, like for a lot of free to play players, that's not what they're gonna get.
Yep.
He's still like a pretty solid unit, but I do think that a lot of people's perceptions of him is skewed because of that.
I think
You
I
had to win.
100%
You had to
agree.
win really hard on that patch. You had to win really hard.
I think
Otherwise, it's like he's really reliant on like those two units for his team, and it's not like to compare to like Xiao, right? Xiao, you just need Sucrose or Gene just to give you particles. I think that's the biggest thing that sets him apart.
I don't really. Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. I think problem is you need C6 Gorou, and that's not a small task to really get to.
And potentially a Beidou.
Any given C6 4-star is like roughly equivalent to like what a C2 5-stars worth of pulls. Like it's fucking massive.
It's also not like there's
like obviously, because like obviously you're gonna get a lot of 4-stars along the way from standard banner and like off banner pulls and rate up pulls like on previous 5-stars you wanted. So that doesn't exactly apply to old 5-stars that have been in the game since the start. But on new 5-stars like on new 4-stars like Gorou, like yeah.
Keep in mind,
it'll take you longer to collect them. This is kind of what we're saying.
Keep in mind that
C6 Gorou, it's pretty likely you also have a Itto.
I think something to call is that people forget like the shop doesn't have Gorou, and the fact that we haven't really seen Gorou being given out an event is pretty big. We have free Xingqius given out an event by far. We get free Xiangling, and then they come in shop like every 6 months. I think it's reasonable to C6 Xingqius, for example, but I don't think it's reasonable to C6 Gorou, even though they're both 4-stars.
Yeah. And I think another...
Right now it isn't, but it probably will be.
Right now it isn't. In the future, so it could change, and then if we assume everyone have C6 Gorou, it might go up and down. The thing about Itto for me is like he individual is kind of whatever. His team is kind of pretty decent. When you consider C6 Gorou and Albedo, his team is actually like I think underrated because Itto individually seems kind of meh. It's what I would think. Not by a lot, but like I would think people underrate his team. But as a character by himself, yeah, whatever.
Honestly, I would say that if you do have Albedo and C6 Gorou, you can probably make an argument for Itto to reach up to S.
No, I think I was thinking high 8s. I don't think it would be higher than like the Cryos, for example. I think it would be high 8. Like he would be here to here. And that's what I would think.
Interesting. Yeah, I can't really say because I haven't ever played a well-invested Itto before. Like my only experience with Itto is like C0 Itto, Serpent Spine, like off 2-piece Husk, 2-piece something else. Talent level 8, like a relatively like low mid invested Itto. And he just feels kind of bad to play if you don't have that like C6 Gorou high investment into it.
There's something I want to call out though.
So,
Itto does not work very well with Xingqius.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, why does that matter? I have no idea. Maybe because he only do charge attack.
No idea. Clueless.
No idea.
Clueless.
Sus.
No, but seriously, Noelle? I would rather play Noelle.
Oh yeah, you could make that argument too, though. Just like if you have a C6 Gorou and an Albedo, You can play Noelle.
Okay, I think
right now you don't have C6 Gorou.
Fodder account.
I don't even think I have
Anyway.
C6 Gorou.
I don't
I
have
do
him
not.
either.
I have a
went to
CZ.
I don't have
Gorou
C6
on
Gorou.
Venti.
I just checked.
I have
On to the next.
I have C6 Yunjin though.
Here's the
Okay.
thing. Gorou is actually such a bad character because every time they run Gorou on a banner, it's just a dead character unless you have Itto. But they're not gonna run Itto. Like basically,
They're not gonna run Itto, he says. El no Sabe.
like the only time where Gorou is a good pull on the banner is if they do an Itto Gorou banner together, which means either you don't pull for Itto because otherwise you risk getting Constellation, or you don't pull for Gorou. So fucking C6 Gorou too.
Okay, so I think we'll leave Gorou here, right? Or Itto here. Did you guys want to move him up?
Yeah. I think it's no. I think he's nowhere as.
I think this placement is fine, yeah.
Okay, and then Xiao. Okay, do we even want to talk about this? It's just
No,
it's
let's
so
just leave it
dangerous.
there.
It's so dangerous.
next.
I want to say one thing about Xiao. I think that he has more flexibility than people give him credit for in team building, because you can't play him like traditional Xiao teams, but you can also just give him a Fav lens and just have like a Fischl, a Yae, and whatever the fuck else, an Albedo on your team.
Nah, Xiao no.
Or you can do
W.
Nishao.
Yeah, he's
W
pretty
just
Me
autoing.
as an on-fielder.
Dude,
See?
I'm telling you right now, people are sleeping on Xiao. Just wait until we play Xiao with VB and you normal attack on Xiao to proc Xingqiu.
Brother, he has his own artifact set, okay, and he's still not like.
Yeah, he does. It's called Veritas Inventor, and it's been.
Yeah, call
They
VB.
laugh.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I think
Wait.
I think that's the funniest thing, honestly. It's just
Here.
he got his own artifact set, and he's still.
Okay, Xiao is the only character in Genshin Impact who have a Nemo infused on his kit. Okay?
False. C6 Kazuha does.
Okay, C6 Kazuha. But just normal attack with your VB Xiao with your Xingqius and you'll be pogging off.
Okay, but
I can auto
What
with
if I own-
Sucrose, bro.
Oh,
yeah,
Sucrose. Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Alright, never mind.
C0 Sucrose, brother.
I didn't think my time to die hasn't come any closer. Shit, dude.
We're
I'm dying
we're
to-
getting into dangerous territory here. Okay,
There's a fucking
Zhao's-
ditch moment.
Zhao's all right. Okay, he has
Yeah,
a lot more
Zhao-
flexibility.
The third best on-field animal.
Okay,
Are you
so
sure?
so
Let
I
us
think
stop.
I
wanna
think-
die.
I think Xiao is still good. There's nothing like A is not bad. Okay, you just have to,
abyss, right?
you just have to think about it like that. A is not bad. It's just
Bro, he's in the same tier as Beidou. He can't be bad.
yeah. They're just not as good as what is an S. Okay, but in general, Xiao is unmatched in terms of like AOE and being I don't know, generally self-sufficient in terms of like damage and stuff like that. I think it's uncalled for to call him bad at all. No, I mean, I think he's perfectly fine, cool, and everything like that.
Yo,
You know who I think is way too high in the list right now?
Hmm.
I think Mona's too high.
yeah, just like one team.
Okay,
no, I think it's fine. Mona one tier up below.
I don't.
Kokomi,
Yeah, I
think
actually
it's
don't think we ever talked about Mona.
I think
Your Morgana bias is showing.
the Mona is in the similar boat as Sara and Gorou, where they only really work in one place.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
true.
I think as we go on, the ratings will continue to shift, but I think Mona is very restrictive in what she's able to in what she's able to do, just because of how her omen works. In general, she's yeah.
Yeah, okay, actually, I think it's fine.
No, and her
You know
Hydra
what I think is
application
too
is just not as good as the others, right?
I was reading the chat, and you know who I think is too low? Sucrose.
Okay.
Sucrose. I feel with Sucrose SS, so when someone screenshot and post it on Reddit, people will learn that Sucrose is actually a good
There's
character.
two S's in Sucrose. You put her in the
Babe.
double S.
True. Okay.
Truers?
Oh, true. And S is no longer two lines. Okay.
Wait, we actually did it.
Shenhe,
Fogger.
Shenhe, Jean, Rosaria, Kaeya. They're top of A. Anyone want to tell us why?
Jean
Cryo
Sapphire.
Good character, Pog. I don't. They're the definition of pretty good. They're normal. There's nothing wrong with those characters. They're pretty good. They're
I
just
think
exceptional.
I think these are like some of the most
nothing to talk
average
about.
and normal characters. They just do
Yeah.
what they do very
They
well.
do things. Yeah, they do things.
So-
they don't have dumb drawback or something like that.
Shenhe, Rosaria, and Kaeya are all cryo units. They're specifically used to augment the usage of Ayaka or Ganyu, and they do their jobs very well. They all produce a lot of cryo particles. They have good off-field damage. I mean, there's nothing else to really say other than Shenhe just, she shreds cryo as well as she does it.
I would actually put Rosaria above Jean, and not right next to Kaeya.
I think I can agree with that, but I don't think it mattered too much.
Yeah, I don't think
I would
Yeah, I would
even
put Kaeya
consider.
above Jean.
You
You
would
said
put Kaeya above Rosaria?
Yep.
I think
I said-
all three of those characters, Shenhe, Kaeya, Rosaria, they're the same spot. You have to move
They're
all three
literally the
of them once.
same. Yeah.
I think Shenhe
I'll-
is quantifiably better than Kaeya and Rosaria.
I would actually put
Yeah,
Rosaria.
but
She
like,
has
okay,
buffs
but
that they don't have.
I think you also have to consider the fact that she's a 5-star. I think
Yeah, it's free.
her being like super easy to build with just attack percentage and stuff like that is nice. But like again, she might be noticeably different over Kaeya and Rosaria, but at what cost? I think is still something that is
Yeah, but at
able
what
to
cost?
consider.
Which is why she's not really worth rolling for, right? Unless
She's not
you're-
worth rolling for, but I do think that she's quantifiably different. I wouldn't put her in S tier,
Yeah,
but I also think that she should be differentiated from them two in some way.
No, I don't think. Given what we have in the S tier, I don't think Shenhe is quite there.
I mean, if you
She's
want
not.
to,
I don't
if you
think so.
want
Yeah.
to make her like
borderline.
show, you want to show the difference, you just put Jean in between. That's
Oh, you mean what we had
But
originally?
I also think that Jean is better than Kaeya and Rosaria. Or sorry, I think that Kaeya and Rosaria are better than Jean.
It's
So,
close enough. I don't really care.
Okay. All right, then we move on to Jean.
Jean is
Unless
better
I think.
'cause,
I mean, Zajib, do you
Fire.
have anything to say about these three?
About the cryo ones?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're all coping and Shenhe sucks. I think they're mostly interchangeable,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I like Kaeya's like fucking massive dick energy generation so much more.
my-
Between the
Yeah.
three, I like Rosaria better. Just
Why
FYI,
does
so-
everything you say with comparison just ends up with dick comparison?
I mean,
Have you
I think
seen it though?
Everything is big dick for you.
Gachi base.
God, cheap.
Have you seen it though, dude? Kaeya Fab into a frozen enemy first E. Oh my god!
That's
No,
fair.
but-
That's fair.
Alright, on to the next
Yeah.
character. On to the next.
but balls.
Speaking of crowd,
These
you
days.
guys want to finish the crowd characters?
Do you
Alloy?
want to put these nuts in your mouth?
What else you gotta say? Oh, you Chongyun.
Chongyun.
Okay, well, let's just. All right,
Well, not talking
Jean.
about Cryo.
We haven't finished Jean yet. Yeah.
Jean, dude, you cannot go wrong.
You can't go wrong with Jean.
Honestly,
Nothing
wanna
goes
say
wrong with Jean.
thing about Jean, people really underestimate how much swirls.
Yeah, her Q.
It's kind of a common tradition at this point to just underrate Jean at this point.
Yeah.
I was thinking-
Jean's so good.
It's actually
I was thinking
comical
of Jean
how
as S.
it's actually comical how good she is with a Favonius sword and Kaguchi. It's so
Yeah, I'm actually thinking of Jean as S right now, but I don't think she's quite there.
W.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't
The
think so. But
only
she's
thing
definitely very
holding
high A.
Jean back is her fucking base stats. Like actually,
Yeah, she has scaling
Well-
bonus extension, right?
Also, her Yi.
she has
It's
one of the lowest base attacks in the game.
W.
Jean Yi doesn't do as much as I would like. It kind of just doesn't do a lot.
The thing is, it's that it takes 0 field time.
Yeah, it's just a nice. It's a cool attack. It's kind of lame, but
You can also
know.
do weird stuff with like slamming things into walls and
Yeah,
doing balls.
yeah,
It's
you
fun.
can. But it's kind
Dude,
right now. It's like
I'm-
not really being used.
I remember back when I was a shitter pleb where holding E on Jean and sending like whopper flowers into walls in the ceiling was great.
dude, you just do 20% of their health with nothing.
Yeah, just go pew. All right.
What do you mean
On to the
20%?
next.
40%. If you do it right,
like
you
80%.
40%.
W.
Oh, that's
Right. You drag them down, you throw them back up, whatever. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You can
Next
also
one.
do the sucrose anti-yeet for even more damage.
I think among the last characters, are there any ones that are particularly interesting to you? I think.
All these characters
Albedo.
sucks. Oh, Albedo, yeah, Albedo is pretty
Albedo.
cool.
Razor.
A, right?
Albedo is
No. Okay.
Mid-high A, I think.
I think
Above
after bait.
below Beidou.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Yeah, like mid A, above Xiao for sure, I think.
Wait,
Wait, why'd you have to say that?
No, it was just where we're putting it. Albedo.
Albedo is the best Geo unit.
Rue.
Let me see. Is that true?
Yeah.
I
Another
mean,
competition is Itto.
Wait, are we including Cinnabar? Because you can't
Wait,
get that
are
shit
you-
anymore.
are you
Yeah, we're
including
including it.
TTDS Ningguang that just used as a tech? Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess
honestly,
so.
yeah, people who don't have either of the Albedo event swords, so sad.
Wait, the
Festering is
Festering
not
Desire.
I mean,
Albedo.
the
festering is not
desire.
really.
No,
It's
not
not-
for
it's
Albedo,
weapon,
but
but-
like festering is great.
Festering for Jean is amazing. Festering for yeah.
Weapon reruns.
Why would
fun.
you run Festering when you can just run Fav?
True. Oh, hey, some people don't have. Some people don't have R5.
People are saying, oh wait, doesn't Albedo use Harbinger of Death if he's not using any of the new events?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, that's true.
Harbinger
Okay.
of Dawn is his second best sword, or third best. I think it's behind Jade. I forgot.
Oh, is Jade good?
On Albedo? Yeah.
Oh, oh wait.
Not
hold
as
on.
good as Cinnabar, but
Oh, I was thinking of a
good.
different sword. Sorry. Why? What? I am not myself today, huh? I'm sorry.
Okay. He's just good. Good damage. A
Yeah,
bit of
he's good
EM
damage.
sprinkled in. He finally has an artifact set that doesn't grief him. I mean, oh, cool. And he has a weapon.
Ooh. Just don't burst on him.
The ding when
Except Hu Tao.
the E when it dings, bro, is such
Look.
satisfying.
Look.
That's enough.
You compare Albedo, click one Yi every 30 seconds. And then you look at Yae who go Yi every like 10 seconds.
Someone click
Sorry,
that.
my ears
Someone
just
click that,
fucking
please.
hurt from that.
Someone clip that,
Tenten with a good take.
Tenten, are you okay?
Okay.
Sir?
Any
Someone clip that for me. We need that
any-
for our highlights.
any units that you guys want to talk about here that are interesting? I mean, we still have the 3 pyros here.
We could always talk about Yoimiya. I think Yoimiya is an interesting topic.
Oh, I guess that's kind of interesting, yeah. I guess
Yeah.
between all the one that are remaining, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Xiox is
Tell
here.
me-
Hang on. Okay. Continue.
Oh my god.
Wait, is he done? Wait, what? Wait, get him into the call.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait, that means is he streaming? Oh no.
Yeah, he's.
Nick, get the
I
fuck out of
just-
here. No one wants here. Xiao sucks.
Real.
Wow.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, wait. Just a
Mage.
question: is the Kazuha funny picture? Is that Electro MC?
I think it is Electro MZ.
Okay.
But I think I'll edit this tier list at some point and I'll replace these pictures with that are easier to read for us all. So, Yoimiya. And I guess by extension, Diluc and Klee. What are we
I think
thinking?
you include Yanfei.
And Yanfei, yeah.
think
I mean,
all
these
four.
are the pyro vapors here.
What is he saying?
It was like, is Sucrose higher than Kazuha because of the Jeff?
No, Sucrose has 2 S's in her name. She's double S.
W.
Jesus Christ.
I can't hear any of what he's saying, but I can see.
I can.
Great. It's great.
Wait.
Cope and seething.
Here, let me see if I can emulate his speaking style. Is Jeff the only person who would put sucrose? No, okay. I can't do it.
Wait, is the stream deleted? His stream is delayed. Your Xiao. Oh wait, no, you moved Xiao back already.
Okay.
Right, let me go tell him.
Yo, can we get some Y Hardo and Siles chat? I know they're listening to us. What's up, Siles chat? Can we get some Y Hardo?
I'm gonna go give him a piece of my mind.
Okay, we'll continue on.
Okay.
Let them have their moment. I'm just
Okay, while they're fighting over,
It's just all wide-hearted.
while they're fighting over the
Great.
8 damage difference between Kazuha and Sucrose, we'll keep trucking along.
Okay.
Yoimiya, Klee, Diluc, and Yanfei. Maybe at one point out these would have been all in like double S, but I think we've grown a little bit from then, and I think we've grown a little bit warmer towards Yoimiya since we've last
Wait,
evaluated her.
Sucrose is back in S. What? No.
What are we thinking? What are you thinking?
Yoimiya, I think is.
I want to say B.
I want to say B. Yeah.
I don't think she's C, but I don't think she.
I'm thinking if she's A something.
I think she's low A, just because her teams are pretty flexible. If you're willing to.
So
I think there's argument for A as well, but I'm leaning more toward B.
okay, then where do you put Diluc, Klee, and Yanfei then? Just top of B then, or middle B?
C.
What do we think?
C.
I don't. I think Diluc is like same as Eula. Because like the problem, like for me at least with Diluc is that quite literally, like okay, you can say Diluc has AOE, but it's so like negligible that he's essentially single target, and then he uses both the double S units, and not even at the, like super great like potential. It's like
yeah.
It's like he legitimately like doesn't offer anything for them, which is kind of a bad thing.
True.
And also, okay, at least with Yoimiya and the other pyros that have range, you can stand in Bennett circle. Diluc, you're moving forward every time. You're gonna leave the Bennett circle and lose your attack buff.
Yeah. I think Yoimiya is pretty close to a B, and Diluc, I would put either him like low B or high C. I like C.
Yeah,
better.
I would put probably C because like, Yoimiya does have like quantifiable differences from Diluc. Like A, she uses
Bow.
I want to say I was just about to say Yanfei for some reason. She uses Yunjin in place of Bennett. And you can also say like she is much easier to stay in Bennett circle. She doesn't push things out with like Diluc's huge ass pyro bird thing. She is like you can do without Xingqiu. Diluc is very much tied to Xingqiu, but you can actually play Xingqiu with Xiangling teams, and they're not that cope. She just has like a lot of advantages over Diluc. I think the only thing that you can say is like Diluc can hit multi-targets and Yoimiya can't.
I think Diluc
given
is wildly
how many
underrated.
other
I think Diluc is wildly underrated.
Really?
I think Diluc, as of right now, Diluc might just be the unit
That's the what?
maybe other than Sucrose. Because he's not bad. He really isn't. He's not nearly as good as people thought he was. But people have like
we might have overcorrected way too hard.
Yeah, overcorrected way too. He is not D tier. Holy shit.
I think he's like
not
the definition of B. He is.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty solid B character.
Okay.
Like middle of the pack of B.
Okay, look. Diluc can use Xingqiu, therefore Diluc's better than other characters.
Okay, then
every character can use Xingqiu.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if your character can use Xingqius, you're base.
Okay. So Yoimiya is better than Diluc, and Diluc is solidly average. So where do we put Klee?
I think they're close just because pure pyro exists.
I mean, Klee's just so. She's kind of interesting to me. She's just. I feel like I think we touched on this a long time ago, Zachef. I think she was almost intentionally designed to just be a co-op unit.
I have a question.
Klee.
Klee?
Yeah.
she's very focused on power application and stuff like that on field, but like we don't like almost ever need that. I think our experiments with like reverse melt and stuff like that.
I mean, maybe one day we'll get a cryo better.
The best Xiangling.
Maybe.
No, I have a question. If, in theoretically speaking, we have a 1.5 U Xingqiu, can Klee vape? Is that possible?
Klee can already vape with Xingqiu.
Right now. You can do.
But it's hard. But it's so hard right now.
You just, I mean, even if you burst on Klee, if you have a C6 Xingqiu, you'll never wipe off the.
But it's so hard though. Wouldn't?
No, it's really not.
It's not. It's not. Yeah, we tested this again like a while ago. If you have C6 Xingqiu, it's like not possible.
Yeah, but the consistency's not great. Like Xingqiu's gonna get some.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't you make it much more consistent? This is my point.
Well, the thing is, if you overtake with Klee, then you just have Xingqiu vaping. It's not like terrible.
Yeah, it's not a horrible thing.
Yeah, I don't like it. But
I mean, in general, Klee and Xingqiu are not always attached to the hip nowadays. I think a lot of Klee players,
like people play pure pyro.
Yeah, I think a lot of them play pure pyro with like Kazuha and stuff nowadays. So.
Yeah, but I'd rather
Bomb Bakadan
or another animal unit.
Danjo.
Exactly. It's much like Kazuha Venti Bennett Xiangling is probably better than like Bennett Xiangling Kazuha Klee. So,
why people just died of cringe?
Is Yanfei better than Klee, or is she better than Diluc? Where is she lying here?
No.
Wow.
I think it's just right after Klee.
I think people want to say like Yanfei C4 as a shielder, but that's kind of.
Okay, I've been hearing about this like for a while now. Like everywhere I go, I see Yanfei C4 shielder, Yanfei shielder, Yanfei shielder. Like, is this like a real thing?
No.
Like, where is this materializing out of?
It's for Hu Tao.
It's because they want to VV vape Hu Tao, but don't want to level Thoma or Xinyan.
I see.
Yeah,
it's because they want to be vape Hu Tao, but
they what? You cut out again.
They keep dying.
They're bad. That's why.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, is there anything really to go into them? They all are pyro vapors. I guess Yanfei has the added benefit of being able to go overload, but they just don't do anything very different from each other. They're hard to really
No, whatever. Whatever. These characters are so boring, man.
True.
I mean, we're at the bottom of the bucket here.
Yeah, these characters are so boring. Alloy,
I think. I'm putting her in C.
C.
Yeah, she's just not great. Not enough damage, not enough energy. She's just
about it. She has stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cryo doesn't need. Cryo just doesn't need like the burst energy from her sacrificial E procs or anything like that.
Hey, I like using her with AMZ though, but
honestly, it was a good idea, but it was.
I think Alloy is the only unit.
Yes.
The only unit that
gives Xinyan a run for her money.
Oh my god.
Wow.
W.
All that build up. And then...
I think Alloy is the only character that doesn't belong in Genshin Impact.
Dude,
Good
Horizon Zero Dawn and D tier. Dawn for D tier.
Wow.
Jesus. Put her in D tier.
Horizon Zero Dawn for zero usage.
Chi-Chi.
She's pretty good, not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, I think Chi-Chi's underrated.
I think Clem is pretty base.
You think?
Yeah.
Listen, I have a okay.
I think she's like high C.
No,
yeah.
I would say B.
I was thinking
no, probably not B. I want to
say B, but I think it's close. But I think Chi-Chi's underrated.
If they just buffed her to make fucking energy, bro, please.
No, Taser, it's good enough.
It's Clam Chi. Yeah, it's Clam Taser Chi-Chi.
Clam Taser Chi-Chi does about like 34k for my bubbles. Well, actually, my Chi-Chi's jacked as fuck, so I can't really see other than that.
It's okay. Use Chi-Chi as a Eula battery. Base.
Like,
what?
I'm Taser Chi-Chi. I would much rather just run Sucrose.
Dude, that clip.
Eula battery.
No, but like considering Chi-Chi's thing is that she heals, she also drives a lot of things pretty fast. The bubble, the clam set really helps her out at the same time. A lot of recent changes definitely made her a lot better than what everyone thinks she has been going through.
But
I don't think she's C. She's. I think she's B.
I
No,
just,
No,
I
I
don't
just,
know.
I just, you
I
cannot,
just
you
don't
cannot
think you
discount,
are.
you can't discount how high the energy cost is, and
Wait,
just
how
not
the
making
fuck?
progress.
How the fuck did bottom of B below all these dog shit units?
The bottom of B below what?
How is Gorou in B?
I think he's. Oh, dude,
You think he's in C?
No, I think he's in A. No,
A.
I think he's at the top
I
of
would
A.
put Gorou higher.
The top of B. I think he's at the top of B.
Okay.
Like him being at the bottom of B feels so wrong.
Yeah.
Being the other
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you move Sara with?
No.
No.
Because Sara, it's the thing that we were saying earlier, right? Sara, next best alternative is Lisa, and she's not that much worse. Gorou, next best alternative is GOMC, and he's much worse. Not
Is
much
Sara
worse.
I can agree
is
with
Sara
that.
worse
As a
than
support for
Lisa?
teams, it's
That Bella have.
Yeah, I would put Sara as worse than Lisa. Honestly, I would agree with that.
I think
is
Sara. I think Lisa's better than Sara up until C6 Sara, and it's just, yeah.
I think I can agree with that. I mean, I don't think Gorou is quite A, but high B, I think I can.
Are you comfy with putting Lisa in B tier?
I'm actually comfy with putting Lisa in B tier, given where Sara.
Would you put Lisa above Yae?
No. Yae?
Mm,
What? Wait, what? They're not even. They're completely
What?
tiers.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about this. Would you though?
In terms of what? In terms of like
In terms of how
buys?
good of a unit they are.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Yeah,
like-
he's about to get moved into B tier, bro.
I mean, I'm honestly, I'm down to
don't
move
think,
Yae
I don't
B
think
tier.
I should be. I think she's an A.
Okay.
I think
Mm,
she definitely does have her issues, but even with her issues, she still does good damage. Taylor teams are still really good,
Okay.
mhm.
and she is good in them. She does have something over Taser. She does have something over Beidou in some situations. Like, she's a good unit. She's just overall underwhelming and
Oh, C6?
somewhat clunky, but like she's
Alright,
still good.
Wait,
I'm gonna
is this
read
C6
though.
Sara? That's a good question because I think C6 Sara higher than Lisa.
C6 Sara, yeah, I would. put
C6
higher than
Sara
Lisa
is
just
better
because of
than-
Riding Hyper, but
Lisa.
I don't know if we're.
I think
This is,
Lisa
like, at
has.
this point in time.
Yeah, I think
that most
Lisa's.
people probably don't have C6 Sara.
I think Lisa in general.
Or I
Is,
don't know. Would have to like.
I think
look
she's
at
okay still. I think.
Mm.
Yeah. She doesn't.
15% depth shred, 48% attack from TTDS, electro application. Those are still like very
Noblest,
powerful.
dude. Beast
Yeah.
plus Noblest. Oh my.
Mhm.
Okay.
Alright. These characters are actually so poor. Just do left to right.
Amber. Honestly, Amber.
High C.
She's just an elegy carrier.
I wouldn't
Run
say high
blast.
C. She's probably low C.
Low C?
Above.
Mm.
Probably below 16. I would
She's
say.
probably above Keqing.
Probably like above Kachain.
Okay.
Yeah.
In what context are you saying?
Wait, are you really
Is
putting
this-
Thoma above her though?
Yeah, like, are you really putting Thoma
Okay,
higher than Amber?
again, no. It's not. This tier list isn't meant to like compare across like things like that. It's just it gets really shaky with these types of tier lists when you compare it across different roles, right? Like, is Keqing better than like Thoma? Fuck if I know, but is she better than DPS like Cleo or Luke?
You can put Amber above Thoma, honestly. I think that's fair.
Is this with
Really?
is this given with elegy or is this just
No.
Amber in general?
Amber in general.
Even though Thoma
Her
has shield and
her
doesn't.
application just makes Pyro Scroll setups like basically
It's
mindless.
so free. It's so free.
That's true, yeah. It's much easier than Thoma.
Like, I can actually see myself recommend
Uh-huh.
more or less casual player. I wouldn't recommend a Thoma team to someone who's a casual player, like
Okay.
ever. Because the setups are way too
Um,
dank.
I think the thing though is like
Yeah,
For
we talked
Thoma,
about,
a lot of people can use them
Chi-Chi's
as a
energy
budget
requirements.
shielder.
Thomas are
Yeah.
even harsher.
that's true. Hmm.
God,
The thing
I-
is,
dude,
I'm
I'm-
just thinking like if someone doesn't have Zhongli and they have Thoma and they really want a shielder because they're bad at the game, then they can run Thoma. Amber,
No,
the
then-
only real use for her is you want to do VV babe.
No, they should be not bad at the game.
They should just get good.
Any base?
And why don't you get good 10
I mean, you run into the Hu Tao thing where it's like, should you put in the effort to play her? Why did you pull her then?
Hmm.
Okay.
Chongyun.
Diona and Chongyun. No?
Diano.
Zajif, I know you do not like Diano.
I think she's like bottom of B at like.
I think she's B.
Yeah,
I think that's very generous.
I just don't think she's. I don't think she's worse than Gigi.
She generates a good amount of energy for what's.
Yeah, I would put her above Lisa. I would put her above Mona. Actually.
I'll put her mid B actually. Yeah.
Yep.
I would put her above Yanfei as well. Or above Queen. I would put her just.
Yeah, above Queen.
She just keeps moving up. She just keeps moving up.
Fuck it, above Eula. Fuck it.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. She's not great, but I mean, like, are any of the units down here that great either?
I mean,
my biggest problem with Diona
is she
for freeze teams.
Oh.
For freeze teams, the teams that keep the enemy so they can't attack.
Yeah, but her role in those compositions isn't really to apply cryo. Like, is Ayaka or Ganyu really Ayaka, Kaeya, or Rosaria really missing a freeze at all?
No, but like the point being, why do you need a healer in a freeze team?
Fucking
I get that some people do, but like it's inherently easier to get away without a healer on a freeze team, right?
True.
Like I'm sure we can all agree on this.
I don't think so. No.
I think it's.
What do you mean? I don't think so.
I like running healer. I like running Diano. So it's comfy in Morgana.
Diano is your comfort character.
Yeah, I just can't find myself to really rate her like worse than Chi-Chi or anything like that.
I mean, how would she be worse than Chi-Chi? Yeah, there's no way she's.
I was doing what they call a lie when I said that she should be in C.
I think it's fine where it is. I think
what they call a lie.
All millennials, all they want to do is eat hot chip and lie.
Azo was talking about this earlier. What if someone does have Zhongli and they want to shield her? There's Diano.
But honestly, I think that's basically like exactly her position, because the only team where I actually consider her kit to be relevant is Eula teams.
Yeah.
And so right below Eula is like basically.
What do you mean? Diana shield against the cryo Magukeki.
I like putting Diona in my Ganyu Morgana team so I can fight Magu Genki with a shield. Base.
Bringing freeze to Magu Genki. Very base.
Alright.
This is a very tenten play.
Chongus.
No, it's just...
Where do we put Chongus these days?
Chongyun.
He's just...
I think
bad, honestly.
I don't know if it's a B or a C. I think he'll be higher than I'm leaning C but higher than Chi-Chi.
Okay, but like in what team would you want to use a Chongyun?
The thing about Chongyun is he's not a team building character.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's worse than Keqing. I think he's just like around the alloy level.
I think Chongyun is very similar to Venti in terms of the kind of things he provides.
Oh, so you think he's an S tier then?
Exactly. Yeah,
he's a unit he's a unit that provides something that isn't really like the team building part. Like, sure, sometimes you can use him for team building, and I unironically would put him at least in B tier just for his C2.
Cooldown reduction.
I can agree with that.
Reduction.
I'm happy to put it into B. I was debating like low B or high C.
I would say low B.
I will admit though, the triple melt thing with Chongyun is pretty fucking funny when I'm feeling.
Does anyone remember when Chongyun used to be a national team?
You probably would still like to run him though, because
I do remember.
You do remember what?
He's gone.
Shouldn't run Chongyun in national. He's not as good as Sucrose.
He's not.
And I remember Tenten saying, "No, but Chongyun's great. You get melts."
Okay, we're low budget back then. Okay, Matt.
Bro, what do you mean low budget? Sucrose and Chongyun are both worse parties.
Oh my god.
Alright, on to the next one.
Okay, Sachem, let's get you back to bed, Grandpa. Oh my god. My chat is just complaining about your mic the entire time. It's so bad.
I want to watch anime. Get me out.
All right,
This
we'll finish
game
it.
sucks.
All right, Yunjin.
Yunjin's actually really quite good, I think.
I think Yunjin is quite
B,
good.
low B.
I think it's mid B.
Mid
I would
B.
definitely put mid.
Mid?
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
yeah,
put like the Diona level
Yeah.
because like if you look at just how much damage she gives to like normal attackers, like Yoimiya, she gives like nearly as much as a Bennett does to Yoimiya, and that's just kind of insane.
Makes sense to me.
Hmm.
Razor.
I would actually put her above Eula.
I agree. Anything to move Eula down.
Okay.
Okay, bro.
You fuck Eula.
Razor, dude.
Razor.
F tier. Azo plays this guy.
F tier.
Top of S tier. Bro, have you ever played Shatter Razor? Have
Okay,
you ever
okay,
played
hear me out.
National Razor?
Hear me out.
Have you ever
Okay.
played like Sunfire Razor?
Dude, that
Have
was
you ever
my
played
name. I played
not
Keqing and
Razor?
Bennett Sunfire Razor.
What the heck?
Okay,
Razor
so
sounds
fucking
cracked.
Razor.
Okay, where do you think he's landing?
Razor.
Look, the most important thing, you can run him with Xingqiu.
Exactly.
True.
True.
Wait, is he just like below Eula?
Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, wait, what if he is higher than Eula?
No, he won't. No.
He's not.
Dude, if we put him higher than you, all of the Eula mains are gonna be so mad.
I don't
about
think he is. Okay.
it.
Razor, he's just outclassed
I think
by.
he's like, yeah.
He's just kind of outclassed by you at this point. He's fine. I mean, everyone uses him as a meme now. Everyone just said, "Can you?"
I don't think he should be above Klee and Yanfei.
Okay. Where like people often say like,
I like to play him.
"Can
but
you
yeah.
explain this to a Razor main?" That's like that's literally the meme these days. But
Can you explain 1.5 you to Razor, mate?
Okay, so basically, there's this thing called elemental durability that's in the config files for characters.
shut up. All right,
What they have.
moving on. Ningguang,
Man. Can't
Ningguang
switch.
and Noelle. What are we thinking?
Around Razor, probably. Below her. Same shit. Useless
I
character.
disagree with that. I think they're higher.
I think
they're close.
I don't know much about Ningguang, but I quite appreciate Noelle quite a bit.
I appreciate Noelle. Yeah, I would appreciate Noelle quite a lot, actually.
The existence of Gorou for Noelle is so nice.
Noelle higher than Eula? Anyone?
Noelle higher than Eula.
No, I'm just throwing it out. No, unless.
Unless?
No, I do appreciate Noelle. I think Noelle AOE is pretty good, and she's pretty comfy characters. Being able to run serpent is fine.
I just don't know much about Ningguang. I mean, does anyone have like a suggested placement here?
No, she's shit.
I think Ningguang is like.
I'm kidding.
Ningguang can use
I mean,
TTDS,
since
so
Gorou
she's
exists,
S
you
tier.
don't really need
Yeah.
her for batter anymore.
I think she's like right
Yeah.
under Razor. Just because you can play her as a carry, but you can also play her as just a TDS spot like Mona and Ningguang.
Yeah, but
yeah.
she's better than Razor as a
Yeah, that means she's higher than Razor, no?
Okay,
Yeah, she's
okay.
better than Razor. Yeah.
Okay, so where do you guys put Noelle?
But can you play her as a self-overloading unit? I didn't think so.
Okay, and
True.
That's a good point, actually.
That is true.
Okay, fuck that.
Alright, Noelle. She's comfy, she's Geo, she can steal Itto's weapon, but like, I'm so sorry you missed the Itto.
Would Noelle be higher than any of these characters? I think there's an argument to be made for what she does.
Noelle,
I think the main problem with Noelle is basically the same problem as with Itto. Is you don't have C6 Gorou. If
Oh, true.
you have Itto. And you shouldn't play Noelle to begin.
Well, I mean, look, I'm telling you right now, Gorou, I mean, Itto cannot use Xingqius, and you can use Xingqius with Noelle. Base.
That's actually like I think not a bad argument. I think that
Okay,
one
yeah.
of the things that Noelle does do well is that you can run like Noelle
And you
AOMC and then just two like random units. You can do like
Okay, yeah,
you
unironically,
can do-
Noelle has a pretty good like repertoire of things to like
Yeah.
run with her. Like you have
Yeah, I think-
Gorou, you have
yeah.
Albedo, you have Yunjin, you have Xingqiu.
Yeah. You
I
can just do
mean,
other Geo units.
you
She-
could
she
just-
can take advantage of every other Geo unit.
Yeah, you
and
could-
you can even just do non-Geo units.
Yeah, you
which I
could
think is
run
pretty
double
nice.
Electro if you want.
I mean,
Like
the fact
she's
that she
pretty
doesn't need a
flexible.
healer
Oh.
speaks for
Mhm,
itself.
exactly.
I mean, higher. I would honestly consider Noelle to be like
Say it.
higher.
Say it.
I would put Noelle
Higher than Eula?
Say it.
I'm down.
I just, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. I don't know.
No higher than. Given that Noelle can use Yunjin, wouldn't Noelle be higher than Yunjin?
No, because
Because
just because someone can use someone doesn't mean you're higher. Just because Xiangling can use Bennett doesn't mean she's higher than Bennett.
Oh, actually, I mean,
Okay.
I
I think we'll leave. I think.
whatever. Yeah,
I think
whatever.
we'll leave it
our
here.
position is
Let me watch anime.
Okay.
Sayu.
You know,
I fucking hate Sayu, but I
she
know
was
she's not bad.
she was supposed to be like the second coming of Jean, and then it just turned out that she wasn't.
I mean, she still is. It's just
I think she's a pretty solid B character, but I'm not just sure where.
I think you can make an argument
probably
for
below
A.
Diona.
An
I
A.
would put her below.
Just for
I don't
BB.
think there's anywhere close to A. No.
Just for BB Hugh.
She just, if she had just BV'd better, I think a lot of people would appreciate her more. But she just kind of, no, she just kind of falls on the wayside, I think, among the anime characters. All right, we have Barbara. Oh, Barbara.
Low B probably. I would say.
I think like
Is she-
Chi.
Tell you a lot. With,
I would say I would put
After Wichita.
yeah I would say Barb next to Chi-Chi, so they can have
But
friends
here's
together.
the thing, right? Barbara has hydro application, which is
Yeah,
more
that's what I'm
valuable than whatever Chi-Chi brings.
Yeah, but I
You-
just, I don't know. It's just, is
Also,
she?
if you are skill issue, you always have C6 Barbara, and then you can just unskill issue your skill issue.
Is Barbara
Okay,
better than Chongyun?
No, I'm just
That's
gonna
my-
leave her and
I don't
see. Okay,
yeah.
if she wants to rise above, go to
I think she should be in B.
low
I think she
B.
should be in B.
Where?
Yeah. I would put her above Chongyun, below Sara.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
TTDS holding.
Mm.
Very positive.
TTDS holder hydro
Yeah,
application. is
I-
actually
I
good.
think
But-
I also think Mona should be a little bit higher than that. Probably like right under Sayu.
Yeah, that's fair.
Leaf falling, so sad.
My chat is asking me, can we make TTDS a character?
Sure, we can put TTS character SSS tier. Done.
You guys are so funny. Okay, hang on. Let me see.
That's cute.
Let me see something.
Oh my god.
Alright.
It's 2:30. What the fuck?
Okay.
Alright, who's posting this on Reddit? I'll see you guys all there.
I don't think we really need to talk about the travelers very much. They're all like,
They're all like meh.
yeah,
Electro
they're all,
Traveler.
I think they're all in
That's
like
alright.
C, B, probably C.
Angel Traveler.
Okay. Well, that would conclude our review of most of the characters in the game. I mean, okay, well, let's actually touch on the travelers real quick. I think they're all fine and serviceable, but I would hesitate to really like pick them over any other characters. The Electro Traveler was,
I like Electro Traveler.
yeah, it's just,
I like Electro Traveler, but
yeah, but do you really?
oh, I don't even have C6 Electro Traveler. Now I think about it.
This guy.
This guy. Okay, I think they're fine. I think they're all fine. I don't
What's
really.
my Reddit post at?
I don't really know how to say what I want to say about the travelers. They're just fine.
Where's the Reddit post title? Official Keqingmains tier list. Someone's gonna do it already. How many people are watching? Someone's already done it. Someone's ready. As soon as we end the stream or end this, gonna mash the send button on the Reddit.
I think I would love to see Sucrose in SS, to be honest.
Okay.
But
I think, I mean, again, to review, I think like so many of these positions are interchangeable, right? So like automatically, like we have, these are easily swappable. These are probably easily swappable. All three of these are very easily move around. Like these four, like all, and then you know, like everything down here is probably movable, honestly. But there's just not really that much point in going over characters that are so fallen to the wayside, I think. No.
alright. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for hanging out, guys.
I
Feel
need
free
be
to
awake.
go to bed, or we can sit around and argue about things if you like.
Okay, let's sit around and argue about Is Eula better than Xiao?
Stop.
I am going to be
You want
watching
both of
anime.
them to be mad at us now.
You're gonna cause an earthquake.
Can we argue
You're causing
about
problems.
whether or not what Raiden is better than Ayaka?
No, whether or not Raiden is better than that gets one
Dude, I don't know. All the Raiden mains are like get super ass mad about things when you say their character isn't like top tier.
Wait, I just realized I didn't fucking play the game at all. I streamed it for 3 hours and my resin has been capped for 3 hours and I didn't do any of my
This
things.
is what being a theory crafter does to you, Tenten.
Yep.
We
get that you're not.
Hours and I'm still capped on resin.
That's what it's like to theory craft.
Alright, look like we're not watching anime.
What were you watching anyways? Like My Dress Up
My
Darling?
Dress Up Darling. It's so good. Eddie Baser.
This is how I feel about this tier list stream, honestly.
Same.
What?
Can we make that the thumbnail if we post this on YouTube? Can we make that the
Yes,
thumbnail?
please.
Yeah, actually, wait, are you guys posting it on YouTube?
We could post it on the
Probably
second channel.
We could post, yeah,
I
we could
think we'll
always
post it on our second channel where not many people will see it, but like if people like get mad at our tier list, we just post the video so that they can leave us alone.
Mhm.
I think we've done our due diligence on a lot of these characters. I think maybe at the end we kind of sped run it
Yeah, I
because
think
they're
we
just
kinda
so not
skip over,
interesting.
Like Mona, some of the like. I know people are going to be upset that Mona is solo, and they're going to be upset that Zhongli is solo.
And they're gonna be upset that Kazuha is below Sucrose, but I mean,
Eula,
it doesn't.
typing.
It doesn't really matter to me very much
Honestly,
which one is higher.
You can put Kazuha above Sucrose because they're very similar, and you're gonna get really pointless arguments. About
Yeah, honestly,
people that
there's
are incredibly butthurt.
Exactly. That's why I want to.
Okay, hold on. Hold on,
Kazuha.
boys. Let me correct this for butthurt real quick. Let's move Xiao up here a little bit. Okay, I think has the butthurt been cleared? What is there something here
No,
that
you
would
have
make
to
you
put
butthurt?
Raiden in top above Bunny.
Yeah, you have to put Raiden above.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then I think we'll have to.
No,
Alright, you know what? Here, let's
Kazuha.
clear
Raiden
all
has to
the.
be
All right,
top,
all
that's
right,
clear.
all right. We've done the butthurt clearance. Okay.
Butthurt corrected.
Yeah, put Ellen S.
You know what? Let's just. Yeah, there you go. I think. Okay, I think actually this is the final tier list, guys. The anti-butthurt version.
Yeah, link that one in Reddit, guys. If you're gonna post it on Reddit, don't post that version. It's insane.
Can we make a Venti tier? Just put him somewhere.
Venti.
Venti is he's just himself, man.
Yo, I heard Venti is in the new Archon story, so now I have to play the game. What the fuck?
Yeah,
You can
imagine having to
skip.
play the
There's
game.
a quick start. You can skip Ayato quests and whatever.
Really?
Yeah. Open up the event page and you can click the quick
Oh,
start.
people are also going to be mad that Fischl was above Xiangling. That is what something.
Who
they're going to be
cares?
upset about.
Who cares?
I mean, they're like people get so mad about it, but like I mean, think about it. They're all in the S tier. Like, is there really that much of a difference between like one position in the tier list? I can't be bothered. I'm also capped on resin, but I also don't play the game that much.
Yeah, you shouldn't craft your resin. Just leave
Also,
it capped.
I wanted to be very
To be very wet, you cut out again.
clear. Bro, I literally
Ironic.
You what? You cut out again.
Your mic is capped.
Hi!